All right, guys, we're going live on time. Just for the listeners who are joining us on time, and we appreciate it. So I guess you're behind the scenes with Josh in the command center. It's a lovely place and a whole lot of fun. And right now, I'm essentially backstage, right? Just waiting for the talent to show up. So you might wonder, what does Josh usually do when Josh is alone? Things like this. That's awesome. Interesting. All right. I wonder who's going to get here first. That'll be interesting. So, Josh, what did you do today? Well, Josh, I actually live streamed earlier. We talked about the Zodiac. It was a very interesting conversation. Shout out to my homie Jenny from the block. Also known as Jennifer Reitmeyer. She is a healer and astrologer. So if you're interested in your Zodiac, also, as you can see, I'm being very intentional with my wardrobe. Obviously, I'm Josh, right? So I have to shout out Team Savage, brainchild of Nasheed Linton, straight from Trenton. You heard? Matter of fact, hold up, Sheed. I got you, Sheed. They thought I was playing with you.
Cause I'm a player.
Yeah, this is like my theme song. So. I think Nashi made it just for me.
From the Himalayas,
it's amazing.
Pop, rockin' gates. Both about that paper. High like skyscrapers. Cause we players. Yeah. Players.
I love Sheed's energy. I mean, yo, for most of my intros, it's his song. Like he captures exactly what I'm on about, right? Oh, Fresh Banks in the building. Yo, brother Banks. Yo, we're actually live right now.
Oh, we are?
We are.
Hey, I got my headphones.
Me too. It's a lot.
Yeah, man.
Wait, so where's Mike?
I don't know. He's the one talking about being on time.
Interesting. Oh, man.
I knew this was going to happen because he did this last time. Talking about, I don't want to say nothing, but people be coming late. And I'm like, and then you try to defend me. And he comes late. Oh, man. This guy, Mike, man.
That's hilarious.
You got to tell him, get off them OnlyFans pages.
How's everything will work?
It's good, man. They trying to open back up.
Really?
Yeah, they sent a survey to the employees asking what did they think? Like, do you think this is a rush? Do you think it's okay? Do you think are we doing everything we can to protect you and keep you safe? And they're really trying to get a general consensus of everything. And then that's how they're going to base a decision, obviously, whatever the state recommends as well, and take that into consideration. But we'll see.
Wow, that's a pretty hefty decision right there. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I personally, well, you know my stance on certain things anyway. I just don't want to go back yet because the freedom of being able to work from home is exhilarating. You could just the ability to get up and go, and then you see all these big companies like Google and Twitter giving indefinite leaves for their employees where they don't even have to go back. So I
It's
hope more and more companies take place with that.
That's interesting because and it still could happen. I hope not, but they all say that we're in a tech bubble, right?
Right.
But at this moment in time, the tech market is recession proof based on this incident.
Right.
Because you could work remotely.
Exactly. And I think at least for now, it's going to really implement how things are going to be, especially when they start putting AI, where that's going to I feel like that's going to be worse than a recession for most people, because that's going to destroy a ton of jobs.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people are not really realizing like how quickly that's going to come up. It's going to come up in a couple of years. And a lot of companies are going to want to take a robot over a human because they know they got to pay or deal with any like conversation or backlash or protest or anything like that. So you see all these protests going on right now, the back of the head of the big people up top talking about, all right, y'all want to do this now? Okay. Keep that same energy in 5 years. So we'll see.
I could definitely see that because Steve Jobs wanted a robot in every home by 2030. So we have about 10 years. So the way things are going now, in 5 years, they could set you up for that. And then, I guess they'll want us to get used to the idea of robots. So then by the end of the 2030, then you can actually see people actually wanting a robot like we want iPhones and all the latest gadgets.
Right. And especially with, what's his name? The Tesla guy.
Elon Musk.
Yes. With his, saw his interview on the Joe Rogan Experience. And he is so far out of his ideals and what he thinks and what he wants to do. It's just like he is so determined to get this stuff done and obviously go to Mars as well. But people like him, there's a lot of people like him that might not be as vocal as him, but they're really trying to get this type of technology out and put it out there in the forefront.
Absolutely. And it's very exciting stuff. So I feel some people will kind of wish it didn't happen or try to prevent it from happening. And then I feel like there will be other people who embrace it fully.
Right. Of course.
And I guess that's the one part that's cool, but also worries me because at what level are they going to go past that line?
Right. And I feel like it's another thing. And another thing I would say is I think a lot of people are not really honing in on the idea of creating multiple streams of income, or at least making yourself savvy of diversifying what you do, because eventually that job that you do is going to be completely outsourced to a point to where you're not going to be able to do anything, like, especially when it comes to minorities. Like, it's going to destroy us with
absolutely. And I'm specifically concerned about data entry.
Right.
Because unfortunately, we've all seen what's happened with Easy Pass. So,
oh yeah. Well, they realize they don't really need nobody at the booth.
and unfortunately, but yeah.
Right. And that was that's like a big chunk of change for some people, because I'm not saying they pay great, but they pay more than most. And to have that void, it's gonna make a difference.
Absolutely. I mean, I just, unfortunately, the writing's on the wall for the robots and just a lot of jobs right now. So unemployment could be 50% or higher.
Right. And that's a scary thing, because when unemployment's around, that's where crime and all the other foolishness, like forget a pandemic. you have that come around. I don't know. That's the scary thing.
Absolutely.
Things are not gonna go well with that.
Yeah, that would be not a fun place to be. So I hope we can unite before then. That would be splendid. That would be fantastic. Yeah. Let's build Wakanda. It's completely possible. Matter of fact, let's answer that. Let's start that question, Brother John. How would you build Wakanda?
How would I build Wakanda? Mm-hmm. Well, I think the biggest thing, which is very difficult for us especially, is just unifying and putting each other's ideas together, because you could do more then you could do more with a group as opposed to being by yourself. And the more and more people you have, the more and more ideas that are spreading, the more and more things and functions that you actually get to do is actually being put out there. But if you do it by yourself, you really can't do much and you limit yourself. And I think in order for you to really get your ideas across, or at least help yourself learn, is working off the bootstraps of someone else and help them build you, and then you build each other.
I like that. I like that a lot. Great point. I mean, do you, I guess, extend yourself to the rest of the world if you're Wakanda now? Or are you self-isolate? Because there are some people on both sides who would prefer resegregation, unfortunately.
Right. And, I get it. Years of oppression, you see things, especially when it comes to trauma you experience as in your adolescence and growing up and seeing that, you remember those things. I don't care what people say, where they say you grow up, you're supposed to live past those. You're supposed to live like sweater resist the issues. But it's just like those things that you see as you're growing up, and the people or the people of color that are creating the terror or horror in your life, you're going to remember those things. And then when it comes to those radical ideas of just being by yourself and being select on what you give out there, I get it, but I don't feel like it's really helping the situation, because I feel like you need everyone to do, because at the end of the day, there's no such thing as, there's only one race. It's the human race. And I get how cheesy or corny that may sound, but you could do so much more as a unit as opposed to being separate. Because I mean, by all means, I get the statistics and the things that where blacks, where they were by themselves and they did what they did in Atlanta and what they did in New York and what they did in Mississippi, the Black Wall Street and all that, that makes complete sense. I get it. And that's a great point. But I feel like with how technology is and how far back some of us are when it comes to the ins and outs of when it comes to finance or tech, or just knowing what the ins and outs, we do need somebody from the outside to help position us and also implement more ideas into our community. And I don't think we could really do that by ourselves. But that's just my opinion.
I agree. It's definitely gonna take unity, and it can't just be from one group of people. It's gonna have to be with multiple groups of people, because we intertwine with each other. So we keep trying to do things, just secluded, but then the one thing that's being secluded is a certain group of people being marginalized as well. So that's also fair.
Right. And I really think just being, I'm all about just being together. That's my thing. I mean, if you want to be alone or solo, that's all good. But if you're willing to be on my side and I'm willing to be on your side, I'm cool with that. I feel like we could do so much more. Just from my experiences growing up, I just feel like you get more out of life when you choose to not be secluded and you choose to be a unit as opposed to a one person show.
Absolutely. And you and I specifically have, witnessed this in real time whenever you travel abroad, right? I mean, you actually get to learn about people even more instead of, learning about things on TV. Right.
And even like with my favorite place, Toronto, it's like, I love when they say, they don't even notice it, but they really don't. But it's like, even when it comes to like police brutality and how rampant it is here in the United States, and in comparison to Canada, and don't get me wrong, it's a little different when a lot of Americans come there, from what I hear from the Canadians. But on a social aspect, on a day-to-day life, they may have some issues when it comes to impoverished areas or low-income areas or whatever and stuff like that. But they treat you better in regards to conversation. There's not as much force in the beginning. They actually have conversations with you. They're not like, I wouldn't say they're as pushy, in comparison to some places here in the States where these people are just consistently bothering you and pestering you and trying to figure out what are you doing and not giving you an opportunity in comparison to just because of the way you look. But going into other places, I feel like there's a certain leniency when it comes to how you look. And don't get me wrong, there's still people out there that may treat you another way just because of how you look, based off of racism and based on how you look like, in the fears that have been implemented of when it comes to how you look like from years and years I've been brought down. I get that. But as far as a whole, what happens in the United States when it comes to that, I mean, I feel like it's a little bit better in most countries in comparison to what we have to deal with here.
Absolutely. I think one of the coolest memories I have flying in and out of Billy Bishop Airport, besides, skipping an hour and a half of traffic.
Right.
And you're downtown in like 5 to 10 minutes, which is fantastic, even in rush hour. Because you get the shuttle, like it's amazing. But
exactly, the shuttle and the even that little water taxi thing they have, which is also pretty cool.
And the Border Patrol was friendly as hell. Like we were having an actual conversation, like one of my podcasts. Like we actually talk about Game of Thrones, because last time I was there, it was the Game of Thrones final episode. It was the series finale. Right. And I was flying back so I could join a watch party, which is hilarious. So I did that interview that everyone talks about and then went to go do that, which is amazing. So shout out to Jason.
Exactly. And even like when it comes to, I have my stories of going to the border, and every year, well, when I would drive, I probably drove to Canada maybe 2 or 3 times. And when I drove, we would have alcohol and stuff like in the trunk. And they would always make the same joke. And like the people, usually when I usually go with different sets of people. So they don't know, like, it's like, oh, snap, we have like 10 bottles in the car. We're going to get in trouble because, in the airports, you only have to bring like I think it's 2 liters or something like that of alcohol. Yeah. And as we're driving, they always say like, how much alcohol do you have in your car? And you better tell us the truth, or we're going to have to search your car. It would be a shame for you to drive back to New York, huh? And everybody's like, what? And like, oh, no, we're just messing with you. You're going for Banner, right? It's like, oh, no. But the funny thing, the irony is when you go in there, it's all fun and games. But when you're leaving, going back into the States, it's like you're a terrorist. Like they make you take your stuff out. There's no laughter. There's no joking. It's just all serious. Why you're here? Why you're coming back? Blah, blah, blah. No, there's no like sense of personality, which I feel like is missing. But then again, Canada gets that stigma where they're kind of like pushovers in comparison to most of the world because they're so friendly and how they handle things. But I feel like if you just have a more approaching factor when it comes to engaging conversation, you could do so much more because you would rather be around somebody that you feel comfortable with as opposed to somebody that you actually fear.
Absolutely. I mean, you meet a lot more people that way and you connect with more people that way, which is fantastic. Oh, the host is in the building.
Yo, why don't
the hostess with the mostest? Big Mike, it sounds like your mic is off. Is everything all right?
Hold on.
Oh, there you go. You good?
I'm Gucci. All right. What about my video? I feel like
wait. Hold on. The elder Lakesman, where is the Lakers hat?
What is the honor of the last dance?
I see. How convenient.
You see what I did there?
How long have you had that hat, Mike?
And I've had this hat for a couple years, actually. So,
oh, yeah? A couple of decades as well?
In honor of the GOAT, the actual GOAT from the last dance, of course, my man MJ. What's up, Banks, in the building?
Oh, Mike, man, nice to finally see you here. I tell you, every time you bring this up, every time you bring this up about me being late, you end up being late the next episode. I'm just saying, you have that track record.
I don't know about that, but I figured.
Like last time you tried to put me on blast, you came late. He's like, "Yo, man, work was crazy, blah blah blah," and you the same thing.
But I've been like a few minutes, like an hour and a half late, bro.
Hey, I told you I was gonna be late. I told you though. I was like, listen, I'm gonna be late. I'm going for a
One
run.
time, me and Josh did a whole other show. Wait.
Hey, I need that cut.
That I don't blame you. I go to the same barbershop as you, so I know what happened with that.
Exactly. I was supporting the economy.
you need that cut now, actually. So.
I do. Sheesh.
Me too.
If we're ever gonna open, because Mr. Murphy's playing games with our emotions right now.
He said he's gonna give a well. Let's talk about that, right? So we're ready, Josh?
Yes, yeah. I'll do the intro music.
All right.
Oh, by the way, any word from Brother Cell?
Who? Oh, Marcel?
Yeah.
About the music? I haven't talked about it lately. I know he dropped some new stuff himself, but I call it him. What's up? Yeah. But it's to this beat though, right?
I believe so.
He needs a beat though. You got to give me a track of the beat. I give him.
It's the same one that I gave you.
Huh?
It was a YouTube link.
This beat?
Yeah. It's a free beat. It's copyright free, so he could do whatever he wants with it.
I know what I'm saying. Is it just the beat or with the Roy on there and stuff like that?
Oh, just the beat.
I don't care about that.
When you send me that? All right, we'll talk about it.
Because it's all screaming don't mean you right. It ain't hard to scream. I don't care about that louder than everybody else. So you gonna let somebody else talk? You gonna let somebody else talk?
Welcome to a new You Radio. Welcome back to another show, another live show for the second time. And of course, we are the show that brings a diverse catalog of all type of topics, ranging from news and pop culture, sports and entertainment, and of course, dating and relationship. Our goal, as always, is to make you feel like you're right in the middle of a heated debate at your local barbershop or beauty salon. I'm your host, the savant named Levant, Big Mike. We'll bring you the topics. We got, of course, my man Banks in the building once again.
Yo.
And the creator himself, Mr. Josh Waring.
Hi, Josh.
You know what? I know it's coming, and it still bothers me. I don't know why.
I see. Why does it bother you, Miguel?
Actually, it doesn't bother me. I like it. I got to get my own done. I'm bringing a girl to say.
By the way, we have a message from Toronto for you, Big Mike, because eventually all three of us will be going there for a weekend and then recording a live podcast there. So
that's what's up.
We actually have a message for you.
But going to our topic, so when are you seeing me again? And am I seeing you again in New Jersey, or are you coming back to Toronto?
Miguel is definitely coming back to Toronto.
So we're gonna have some views from the six, huh?
And Houston as well, right?
H-Town?
Hell yeah.
Hey, how much you miss Houston, Banks?
Oh my gosh. That's one of my favorite. That's one of my top places. This is why I know why Drake always talks about that place, man. It's just the food, the vibe, the people, the weather, everything about it is just so much better. Other than the hurricanes and stuff, it's just a good time.
Yeah, I know. You go there and get a little quarantine radio, right?
We should do a quarantine radio. Make some recruits for OnlyFans.
I know. That's what they said. That girl on Khaled's IG thought it was quarantine radio. That shit me cracking up.
Oh yeah. Talk to me nice.
Yeah.
I got a family.
I think she did it on purpose though, actually. So
I think she did just to get clout, and it worked.
It did.
Well, actually, I don't know what her IG or whatever is, but she definitely got attention.
It went up, her IG went crazy or whatever. She also was she was commenting on the Shade Room about it and saying, check out my IG. She got mad followers now. Like that.
See, these girls, they're playing these mind games and it's working.
Bro, it's working.
Future about to shut it all down on Friday. with all the toxic energy he's putting out there with Future right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna skip around a bit. What's going on with Future? I want to know what's going on with that situation.
Future has just been he's like putting all the, he's known for the toxic, all the memes of like going back to your girl, or like, having second guessing thoughts of like, damn, should I have done this? Like, oh, I miss you, but I really don't. Blah, 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 those mind games. But he's been putting like these tweets out of where like, oh, she's for the streets, and all these little smart comments that's like getting people talking, like, why is it, and a lot of girls are getting mad, like, oh, why is this toxic nigga posting all this, doing this? He ain't shit. He got like 20 baby mamas. He needs to stay at home, talking about this. But it's like a lot of people are talking about it, but a lot of guys low key are putting on like rooting for him, like, damn, this my dude. He coming out for us. We need this. All these girls are the only fans trying to take advantage of us. Future about to shut it down, and I think he is. I think he's going crazy.
You think he got mad because the chick came out as his next new baby mama, something like that?
Yeah. the 6ix9ine trolled when his baby mama was trying to show up because she feels like 6ix9ine's not giving her attention or giving her or compensating her. So she's been like doing all these crazy moves by going out with the rappers and coming out of Rich the Kid's Lambo today. And 6ix9ine saw that and commented like, damn, I should probably ask Future for some suggestions, or what should I do? And it's just like funny. But then I think I sent it to y'all, where she had the comment. She had a comment, I don't remember word for word, but she had a comment saying like, it's okay, like it's easy for a chick to move past being a hoe. Like you can eat, like she named. I think
you said you could bounce back from being a thought or a hoe, but you can't bounce back from being a rat. I think it would.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And when she was saying that,
that's very interesting.
And then she brought up Amber Rose and Black China. I'm like, did she remember Black China was selling follows for $200 or a couple $100 2 months ago? So what is she talking about? And I'm like, that point was so corny, it just made her look stupid. Yeah. I'm like, well, we think you're gonna have a band of women saying, "That's right, girl. That's what you do. We can do this, and we can switch it up. Hot girl summer, what?" I'm like, nah, that's not the move. You don't say something like that and then try to switch it up and like, oh, you can switch up from this. And then the next day, I see you coming out Rich the Kid's rented Lamborghini. Like, oh man, it's funny, man. Some of these, I don't know. They should stick to OnlyFans.
Wow. What do you think about her statement in general, though, Josh, about how you can bounce back from that, but not the other thing?
Well, if we're being honest, this was even a fact during the incredible traditional age. So like the 40s and 50s, there was a lot of call girls and party girls, let's say, as they were called at the time. And they would, do the whole be the wife in the suburbs.
Right.
Because if the guy doesn't know her history,
I think what she says makes sense. You can't bounce back if they don't know the history, especially, I guess. But and publicly,
yeah, absolutely. And I think now they might want that because of the history. So it's like dating a model or a adult film star.
Yeah, because technically Kim been around. A lot of them been around. Stuff like that. And don't Amber Rose got a whole like walk, like slut walk or hoe walk or something like that she does.
Yeah, but I don't think she still does it anymore. I think that stopped or something like that. I'm not sure, but I think they stopped it.
Gotcha. Okay. Anyway, so this is what we're talking about going on in pop culture right now, but we did want to talk about the updates with COVID-19, the coronavirus, which is always part of our lives right now, which is why we are live streaming right now. So, what kind of, locally, we saw that the curfew for Trenton has went up from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock, which it was before, and you can deliver now till 10 o'clock. What do y'all think about that?
I mean, I don't know. I guess it's good if from a delivery standpoint when it comes to ordering food, I guess, or getting that last minute gas. But I don't really see a difference.
Me either. That's what I said.
I've been pushing an hour. Like, what was the point of that?
Right. Do you think they should have done anything as far as that? Just leave it alone. Wait till
They
it's,
should have just left it alone. Like, what's an hour gonna do? Just
I thought,
you know.
yeah. What's called the whole thing? What do you think about it, Josh?
I mean, I agree. Didn't really notice because it's not like, unless you're outside, how are you going to see people outside? Because most people are inside.
Yeah. Well, we had somebody talk in a couple other chats, right, Josh? Like, I think I'm upset that nothing's kind of the same throughout the country, throughout the states, throughout the counties. I just don't understand. Why are some reopening, some not? You can live 20 minutes away, they're open, and we're not. I think it's ridiculous. You know,
I mean, to me, it makes complete sense politically because each state has their own law, right? So some states have things that are legal and other states do not. Same concept. And actually, some states actually wanted to change the drinking level, drinking age, but then they would lose federal funding. So it's a political game, like House of Cards. Love that show.
Yeah, I mean, state-wise, I can see, but if it's the same state, that's ridiculous. If your county is open and mine's not, I just go to your county and get a haircut. Then that makes no sense to me. I think that's kind of dumb a little bit. You know what I mean? Thanks.
Yo.
But you were saying something about a second stimulus check, Josh. You heard about that, or Banks?
Yeah. I think what that goes, that's either going to go, we'll find out on Friday if that's actually going to be passed or not. But I think from what it looks like, it's just going to be another round of $1,200 checks. As far as that $2,000 proposal a month, I'm not sure if they're actually going to do it because of the ramifications of based on how much money they actually put out there. But I guess the benefits really is just helping, the first line workers, the hospitals, and but that another $1,200 thing, I feel like it's just like a slap in the face. I mean, I guess it's good just to have, but it's just like, what is $1,200 going to do for somebody, especially if they haven't been working and let's say they still haven't got their unemployment, and if they have kids or family or whatever it is. It's like, what's $1,200 going to do when the state has not been the same since March, and we're going towards June now?
Yeah. What do you think about that second one, Josh?
I mean, I have a movie mindset like you, Big Mike. I mean, I'm worried about it on the back end because eventually we're going to have to pay for this through taxes. And we all know that no matter which, party is in office, the wealthy and rich will not going to get more taxed. So that's coming from our pocket.
Yeah, I do. I mean, it's interesting. I do get it for some people who don't, like Banks said, who don't have nothing. So something's better than nothing, in a better way. Oh, look at this. We got some comments here.
Would it be better to have a federal mandate versus individual state mandates? For example, if PA opens casinos, what's stopping residents of other states from going to that casino? Great question, Onyx.
That's what I said. I feel like it's better to have one so other states aren't jealous of other states. It doesn't look like we're not, in the same accord as a country. I think that's ridiculous to me a little bit. Even right now, when you look at stuff like some states who've been some states remember some states never closed at all. You know what I mean? So they're like, so they're like, what lockdown? We've been good the whole time. They was at Mother's Day brunch last weekend. We were home, couldn't do nothing. So it's a crazy situation. So I don't know. It should be federal, but I see what Trump did. He's pretty genius in that way. He put it on each state. So he's like, listen, don't come to me. I told them they could do what they wanted to do a little bit. So, I think it would be better if we had to have a federal. To answer the question, what do you think? Thanks.
I mean, in regards to like the states being open, like if it's just one place being open, or is like everybody doing the same thing, right?
Right.
I mean, it's tough because it's like the president, he gave everybody a choice to do what they want in regards to in reference to like what the governors say. Like basically they're saying like, you do what you want. It's on y'all. It's the state, because technically the states can do what they want when it comes to, you know, how they handle their state. But it's just like, if you want to get this thing over with, if you actually want to get it over with, wouldn't it make sense just for everybody to, you know, for majority of places to close for the 2-week period or the 3-week period, whatever it is, just to get everything completely strung out in one shot? Yes, if we could do that, then I would do it. If we could just get it over with in a month or whatever, and then so we can get back to our normal lives, that'd be great. But the reality of that actually happening, I just don't think that's really possible. And you see with the outtakes of people, how people are acting out when it comes to with the social distancing and the mask and going into restaurants, and then people getting upset because the orders are being late, or they can't sit in a particular place to eat, or they can't do this, and people are acting out and acting like animals.
Yeah.
So as far as that whole everyone close down and do this, I just think it's going to create more issues and problems for us in the long run, as opposed to what we're doing now. I mean, what we're doing now is not perfect, but I mean, I feel like you should also give the opportunity to people to do what they want, because if not, you're just going to create more problems, and I feel like more issues, which we don't want to deal with.
Yeah, I think Murphy has seen some of these other states having certain cities closed and certain counties closed and some open. That's why he said yesterday, if we open, it's going to be the whole thing or nothing. He's not doing, you know, this county or that county or whatever. So I think that's why he said that, because he sees how that's affected. It doesn't make any sense to me once again. So,
makes sense, yeah.
In that regard. And he also said it won't be a what do you say, like opening back and forth. We're gonna open or not. Like, he's not gonna say we're open today, then maybe close again next week. So I think he's waiting until he feels safe as possible, which I guess is cool. But I don't know what's gonna happen on Memorial Day weekend with the whole beaches thing, because everybody want to, you know,
go to the beach.
Go to the beach. Would you go if it open?
I mean, like I said last week, I don't care about the beach. I mean, me and my friends, we get beach houses, but that's like 4th of July. But I usually stay in the house, and we might go out later, but I could care less about the beach. When they go to the beach, I stay in the house.
Right.
Like the only beaches I care about is if it's in the Caribbean. Other than that, I'm not really pressed to go to a beach in America where it's not even that clean and you gotta pay. I'm like, oh nah. I gotta pay $10 to get a band just to go to. No, nah, I'm good.
So where do y'all get the beach house at?
Usually Belmar.
Okay.
Or Belmar, usually around there.
Okay. Gotcha.
Or Asbury Park. Belmar.
What's
Asbury
going on
Park.
in Texas? Because you be out there a lot. Are they open, or what they doing there? Do you know?
When Texas, what do you mean? What are they doing?
Like, are they open or reopen in Texas?
Well, they're still somewhat closed, but they just basically they opened the parks up. I know some restaurants are opening, and they're creating this. The restaurants have like some sort of union, and they had like this social distancing plan where they're doing disposable menus. They're replacing the salt. They're using plastic salt shakers, plastic utensils so they could throw it away. They're also. It's. I didn't really get it, but it's like they had like a whole list. I had it somewhere on my page, but they had like a list of like what their main restaurants of what they were doing with disposable menus, changing salt shakers, making sure the staff is they check the staff's temperature every shift, giving them gloves and masks, keeping a certain amount of people in a restaurant. And another big thing is with the drive-in theaters.
Yeah.
That's gonna be like a big thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, in the United States, because there's like over 300 of them. I didn't even know that. I'm like, where are they?
Yeah. Well, there's one in Violent that Tony goes to apparently.
Yeah, I've heard of that. I never been to it, but I know there's one in slave country.
Yeah, he said he goes all the time. He said like they'll give him a I think they give him like I think they play it through like the radio or something like that in the car, and he said he loves it, stuff like that. So, hey, Josh.
Yes.
What's going on internationally with the whole COVID? Since you thought you had a lot of friends in UK and other places and stuff like that.
I mean, it's it's quite similar. Their lockdown started a lot, sooner than ours, and some of them were in Italy, so it was obviously a lot more robust because of the situation. So it's just how each, country responded to it, and we saw instances like in Scandinavia and Denmark. So they actually implemented the idea that you wanted, Mike.
Which idea?
From the get go, automatic shutdown.
Oh, lockdown. Yeah.
Absolutely.
What about and where'd you go? Where'd you go in February?
Sweden.
Yeah, have you talked to any of those people? Any of your friends from there? Or no?
Some of them are actually clubbing on the weekend.
Wow, are you serious? That's what Trenton would be at. That's what he would be at.
But their numbers are lower, so they in terms of math, have less to worry about, I guess. According to math.
That's interesting. But UK is still high, right? Or no?
I mean, unless this is like how you're predicting there's going to be let's say a bigger wave in the fall when it's actually flu season.
Yeah.
Right.
That makes sense. So you got any predictions then when we're going to open New Jersey at all?
I would say sooner than we think. I would say in time for summer. So in timeline with the
I think June.
June is 2 weeks from now.
I think June. I honestly think towards June, towards the end of June or July, but I think June.
Okay.
And depending if something crazy happens, especially with how Murphy was talking, because I feel like he left the window possibly thinking there could be a chance we could be opening soon, but he wants to see based on reports and testing that they have of what's actually going on here and what's going on in New York. And I think based upon whatever we get towards the week's end is what's going to dictate the decision of whether or not we're going to actually come out of this early or go crazy and do what LA's doing to say the whole summer's canceled.
Yo, that's how y'all feel about that? That was crazy, right?
Wow. That was nuts. I was like, well, I didn't.
You didn't see that coming?
I mean, and then I look at places like Germany and their professional sports are starting back up. Their athletes they're practicing. So, and speaking of, we have Brother Cave in the back cave. He's about to come and join us to talk about sports. What up, Brother Cave?
What's going on, man?
Cave, what's up, man? You sound good this week. Okay.
Sound way better than last week. It was whispering last time.
I was whispering, right? Maybe I was afraid to be on there or something. I don't know.
How you been though, man? How you been last week?
I'm good. I'm good, man. Good. Still want my hair cut. I talked to Jazz today.
We all do, man. We all suffering. Look at this.
God. I think we just miss more just like the social interaction part of it too. That's like our little oasis when we go over there.
Because we'll be in there talking about The Last Dance right now. It was,
exactly. and me bringing up Draymond Green.
That's your boy.
Can't stand that dude.
Hey, so you think they're closer with the NBA starting up, Steve?
I still can't. I don't know how they're gonna do it. And keep those guys safe. I just don't know.
Yeah.
Because you just really, are you gonna take the temperature every hour? People are gonna be coming in and out. I would love to see it. I want to see it. I mean, I miss sports, but how do you do that? Are they is that gonna be like the testing ground or for events again or what?
Yeah, my thing is if they start and one guy gets it.
Oh yeah. That's gonna be
right.
That's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be crazy. And even if they just say that guy got a quarantine, but what if he's like a major guy on your team on the playoffs? You know what I mean? That could be
exactly. Thank you. So
yeah.
I don't know. And then I'm curious even more so about the risk factor, as we talked about last week, fellas, in terms of you really have to have a preseason so no one gets injured because these commodities are much more, with all due respect, much more valuable than other sports because the amount of people on the roster.
Yeah.
But I was listening to you guys talk about, New Jersey opening up. It's the same thing though. First you're saying June, I believe so too. I think it's closer than we think. because they were talking about opening up like retail stores on Monday. Some of the retail stores and things like that. So I don't know, man. I guess mixed emotions.
Wow, retail.
I don't know what to think. Like I don't know
Retail
what
is crazier, right? Because people are like touching items and you touching them right behind them. It's a
right,
lot.
right.
Right,
Like,
know
I
what I
think
mean?
they all have us in like we all shell shocked right now. So like we all kind of walking on eggshells with this thing, man. So it's crazy.
Yeah, I can imagine. But how you think the players will feel about? Because they were saying that if they do like even next year, right? If they have to have no fans, well, that's a lot of money. So we have to cut those salaries maybe and stuff.
That's a whole lot of money. Yeah, that's gonna be crazy. I doubt that. That's not gonna happen. Guys not gonna take a pay cut. But do you think, like, this is what I wanted to say to y'all in terms of that? Do you think they could let fans in, but with the distancing, like sell every third seat or every fourth seat? You think that will work? Have concessions brought to you.
Well, that's probably what the movie theater got. That's probably what the movie theater got to do too, right? Same thing. So I think
like sell like every third or fourth seat so that you're not on top of each other.
But the same problem happens, right, Kate? The first person who get it, say, I was at the game yesterday.
Right, I know. It's crazy.
And the NBA gonna be scared to be liable, you know what I mean, and things like that. So it's just it's a tough situation. And even every third seat in a 20,000 seat arena, you're still losing
a lot of money. But that's still a lot of money. Yeah, it's still a lot of money. But or do you just do sections? Do you just do the lower level, the upper level?
I mean, I guess losing some is better than losing none. But
that's what I'm saying. Like, do you want to lose all the fans, or would you take in an 20,000? You'll take 8,000 people and spread them out.
If you're a player, would you be wanting to hear like, you got to take less money next year, or how would you feel about that if you already signed the contract?
I already signed the contract. I ain't taking less money. I'm just saying.
And what'd you say about that, Josh? You think they're gonna have to?
They may have to, though. They may have to.
Yeah, they absolutely may have to because
for it to work.
Yeah, because unfortunately, it's the argument for the WNBA not getting more money, only because there's no. You got to have the money there to give, right? It's supply and demand. It's not like your game's less valuable. It's just people like it's just not generating the same type of money. Just like how the NBA is not generating same type of NFL money, but the NBA is incredibly valuable. It's just different levels of value.
Like, what do you think about sponsorship, though? Like, do you think they get more TV sponsorship or less?
They would have to go international in a very profound way. Like you're gonna have to have a Champions League type of tournament with Real Madrid and Barcelona. They're all gonna
come together. So you can
absolutely and have one massive league and one massive tournament, kind of like the World Cup of professional sports.
I think the NBA can pull it off right now, especially.
That would be amazing.
I was telling my friends, I don't think that that football can do it. It's too many players, too many tests you would need. You know what I mean? It's like it's so many.
Football is crazy.
Football's crazy, right? That's what I said.
That sideline is crazy. That's so many players. It's so many people, man. Like, wow.
Trainers, coaches. It's like 100 people on that sideline. It's ridiculous. So,
like, they pulled the draft off, but it's just hard for me to see them. Like, how do they pull off, like, media and sideline and players? That's just a lot. Coaches and
I was saying even training camp because training camp would be crazy. Well, like 100 people before they cut it down. So I don't know how you.
Yeah.
I don't know how you have them out there every day. That's crazy to me. You know what I mean? So
like you could get dorms. They usually stay in dormitories, but that's still crazy.
Yeah. I was telling somebody a few minutes ago. I said, in football, if you're trying to make the team, you gonna play. You want to play when you're sick. You're like, I'm still playing.
Yeah,
but they're gonna make you quarantine.
I can't miss a workout if I'm undrafted. Like,
right.
I can't, you know what I'm saying, Fresh? Like, you can't miss. Like, how do you miss? Like, they're gonna be trying to conceal it. They're gonna be out there like this, like
right.
You talk about a chance of a lifetime. I'm not going down because I got a little cough or a fever.
No, that's what I'm saying. So
I'm not going to say anything. I wouldn't say nothing. Like, I'm not going to say anything.
I'll be trying to pay. I'll be trying to pay the whoever that's not telling me I got a fever.
Right. Like, somebody catch you coughing, you like, yo, don't say nothing, man. Like,
right.
I can't miss this morning session. Like, I can't.
Yeah.
I need that check.
Yeah,
that's why
exactly.
it's a problem
you're
because
trying to get signed. You're trying to make the practice squad. You're trying. Like,
yeah, they'll play right now with the
variables.
flu to make the practice team. Somebody got the flu out there. They do it every year.
Man.
Yeah, it's I don't know how they're gonna pull it. Honestly, they ain't saying that yet, but I don't know how football can pull it off or whatever. So it's tough.
I just think all this stuff is just going to be trial and error to start because you just don't know.
Yeah.
You might get a spike in the once we reopen, you're going to get a spike. I was listening to my my classmate Dr. Sampson from the Three Doctors today, and he's up in Hoboken. He was just like, although the numbers are down, and we're not getting that rush into the ER when we open back up, he said it's going to spike. Like
because you're open again. Yeah,
just because you're open again and just interaction and just
That's what I said. I said the numbers are down because nothing's open. Nobody's going nowhere.
Nobody, and people are really trying. I think people are trying to.
They are trying to. Yeah,
they're trying.
Yeah.
I think people are trying. I know we got some idiots out there, but I think people are really, trying to be safe. They're trying to be safe.
Yeah, I think people have settled into their life a little bit too. Like nothing open anyway.
Well, you got to. Like you have no choice. You have no choice.
Yeah, a little bit on that. How you like the last two episodes of The Last Dance? We ain't talk about that yet.
It's just crazy because I'm just happy that the younger generations get an opportunity to see that era and for what it was. Yeah.
How did you feel about I know you've seen it when it happened, but the move where Scottie Pippen didn't go in the game when a play was called for him at the end of the game, whatnot?
Nah, that happens more times than not. I just think it's compounded because it's who it is.
Okay.
Players
if you were Pippen at that time, would you have went in, or what you would have done?
Yep. It just depends. It just depends. Like, he's different than me. Like, I'm gonna go in. I've been sitting in the game with like 20-something seconds left. I've been like, I'll go in.
Right.
Coach asks you to go in, you go in.
Right.
I'm talking about that's one of the things that you have to learn as a rookie when they just tell you to always be ready, like, because you just never know. Like, you could sit for 20 games in a row and a guy go down and he look down the bench. What, you not gonna go in? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You gotta go in. Like,
did you have any teammates talk like Michael did his teammates back in the day?
Well, not as demonstrative, but I've had guys who were just kind of that's just who they are. Like, Terry the Hit was that kind of guy. Like, you got to stand up, at some point. But at the same time, guys want to win. Certain guys have certain status on the team. They're going to say certain things. Jerry Walker was, one of those guys that'll get in your face if, you wasn't playing hard and things like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's just being a part of a team, and different personalities on the team. How you take that, some people don't go for that. Like, we can have that comment. Like, you're not gonna be screaming on me on the floor and in my face and all that. Like, you got something to say to me, you can say it to me. But you're not gonna try to show nobody up. I would never do that, or I wouldn't want to see nobody do that. I would say something. You know what I mean? But
right.
Some people get away with it and they let you get away. Like, I guarantee you he didn't do that to Charles Oakley, like they were saying. I know he didn't do that.
But I don't think he had to. I think Oak came to play every day.
But I also think he knows what Oakley would do.
That's true.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, let's be honest. Like, certain people you just not doing it to.
Yeah. Oak knew what he wanted. But they actually friends though, still to this day. But Oak knew what he wanted.
I get it, but I guarantee you, he wanted to say something. He just didn't.
Somebody asked me, Josh, how do you comment? It's regular comment, right? On YouTube, right? You just comment.
Right.
Yeah, you can just comment on YouTube. Yep.
Yeah.
And then I have a question for both of you. So now that we've all witnessed some of the best players in the past couple of, decades.
Mm-hmm.
If you have Kobe and Michael on the same court, who's taking the last shot?
Whoever got
Mike.
it when the second, whatever the times running.
Yep.
I gotta go with that. Like,
Yeah,
if you
either
got it with
one
3
of y'all
seconds
have
left,
a
it's you.
neon green light.
Yeah, like either one. Either one. I don't think that you choose one over the other, and that's in that instance. You know what I mean? Like, I think if we swing it and you happen to have it, Kobe, go. We swing it and Mike, you got it, go. You know?
I'll take Mike on that. So, and I'm a Laker fan, but
I'm not either. But
no, I'm a Laker fan, but I think
I ain't a Bulls fan. But at the same time,
yeah, I know. You like Detroit, whatever. So
yeah. So I'm just saying, man. You're in good hands either way.
Yeah. I agree with that. Any more questions, Josh? That we got?
Oh, Mike was a bully. Sure was.
No, yeah, he was. Yeah, he was a bully.
I mean, I would say in a great way.
Yeah, I was about to say he was a bully with intentions.
But even off the court, like when I worked his flight camp after my freshman year, you got a chance to see him outside of basketball. He was the same way. Like, kids from the inner city, they got top priority because we were in like Elmhurst, Illinois, which was like the suburbs of Illinois. And, they would bus kids in and they would try to treat them different and he wouldn't have it. Like, he shut the camp down just for them. Like, all the campers go back to their dorms and we had to work with the inner city kids. Like, I witnessed that. Like, that's my name on the shirt. Like, he was that type of dude. Like, he was that kind of guy.
Yeah. Interesting.
That's dope. And I'm sorry, one more question, Cave. Could you tell us a little bit more about Devoted, please?
Oh, yeah, see, I got my shirt on. So,
Hey.
can you see it? Yeah.
Cave with the merch?
Yeah. So, yeah. Hey, man, listen, we're trying to brand this thing. So we definitely, so I do a little, songwriting and stuff like that. And I've known them guys probably for 25 years. And so they decided to come back they did a reunion, 25-year reunion last November. And that was the first time they probably had been on stage together in a long time in that kind of capacity. So they wanted to record again. So, we got together and we did the first single, More Than Anything, that I kind of co-wrote that too. And then on Christmas, while we were, planning, the beginning of 2020, one of the members passed away. Reese Johnson just passed away on Christmas Day. Like, out of the, was unexpected. No one knew it. No one knew anything was going on. He was actually in pretty decent health. So we kind of wrote, we kind of figured they weren't going to sing anymore because he was gone. So they were like, listen, we met and they said, listen, he would want us to go on. His daughter kind of asked us, you guys should still sing for him and kind of continue on. So we wrote the song Strength to Endure that we just released last week. And the crazy thing is, the day that we released it was the day that he had released his single 2 years ago. The exact same day.
Wow.
So the memory came up. He had a song called Missing You. So when we released the song and that memory on Facebook came up, it was like crazy because May 5th was the day that we released the song for him. So that's where we're at with it right now. So
amazing.
So that's a little backstory to the song.
Cave, I was today years old when I found out that you that you write songs and stuff like that. So that's what's up, man.
For real? Yeah, I'm doing a little bit of, That's what's
is it all gospel stuff or?
Yeah, it's all gospel stuff. It's all gospel stuff.
Yeah. Got you. Do you sing or write for your church?
No. Just I'm in the church. I go to church and things like that. My mother was a singer and played and things like that. So that's where I kind of got it from. So I could play a couple keys on the piano and that's about
okay. I'm trying to learn right now.
Hey, okay. Did you know Deacon Mike?
I'm trying to learn right now.
Really?
Yeah, he's classically trained. Isn't that right, Mike?
Yeah, Cave. I sung my whole life growing up.
Really?
Gospel.
That's the same response we had.
No way.
I never knew this. I'm like, you can sing the opera and all this, classically trained.
I really.
I think I know someone who might.
I got receipts, pictures, videos, everything.
So, have you done anything with your music?
Oh,
Huh?
did Mike freeze?
I think Mike froze. And then where did Fresh go?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. What happened there?
They disappeared on us, man.
There's Banks. You all right?
Banks is back.
I got so
Banks,
caught
what
up that
happened?
Mike could sing. I got so caught up that found out Mike could sing. I just fell out. I just fell out.
Yeah, Banks is great.
And I think Mike disappeared because he didn't want to show off.
Yeah, he didn't want to show off. Yeah, he disappeared off the screen. That's amazing.
Yeah, but I'm like, damn, Mike, let me find out.
Classically trained. And sings.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Wow. Mike, you
Mike, the alter ego. That Mike's definitely an artist. The artist formerly known. That's why he had 2 pages. Okay, Prince.
I had to leave it come back.
Yeah, that's funny.
But nah,
I didn't
kid,
know that,
yeah,
though,
nah, I sung in classical choirs growing up. I used to sing
Really?
yeah, I even learned how to sing in German one time, actually, when I grew up.
Oh,
I sung with Sissy Houston, Whitney Houston's mother. I sung for Colin Powell when I was younger. I used to be in all these. I'm dead serious, bro. I went to the Westminster Choir College for summer camps in Princeton. I went to the American Board Choir School for camps, like all types of stuff. This is all true
Mike
story.
holding out, Cave. That's what I'm saying, man.
Like,
Yeah. I've been singing for the years.
Wow.
Then I went to gospel after the classical stuff when I was in high school. So, and we used to remember sure how you had a gospel fest every year?
Gospel fest every year, yeah.
Yeah, well, I was in Nottingham. We was there every year singing with them and stuff like that. So
Really?
that was cool. Yeah.
Hey,
Banks, fall out again.
hey, yo, y'all need to do a song together. Stop playing.
Yo, we might need to do.
Hey, Kay, let's do it, man.
Hey,
You write something, I'll sing it, bro. Let me know what's gonna be. Yeah.
Yo, for real, man, that'd be awesome, man.
Yeah, Jazz, no, I'm telling you. What not? But I want to ask you one more thing, Casey. You are a basketball, aficionado. You seen the top 10 ESPN list that came out today?
I glanced at it.
All right, so I'm gonna read it to you. Let me know. Do you agree? Well, I'm gonna go. I'll do 10 through 5, and we'll start there, and then we'll go up.
Okay.
So
you did that one on purpose.
I'm gonna see what you think. So 6 through 10. 6 they got Wilt. 7 they got Larry Bird. 8 Tim Duncan. 9 Kobe, and 10 Shaq. Do you agree with that?
Some of those guys should be higher. But go ahead. What's the
And
top
then 1
5?
through top 5. 5 is Magic. 4 is Russell. 3 is Kareem. 2 LeBron, and 1 MJ, of course. Whatnot. So.
Yeah, hey, like, you can't argue with those 5.
What about Duncan and Shaq? You think Duncan should be ahead of Shaq? It's tough, right?
It's a tough one. I love Duncan skill set, but dominance. Shaq is dominant. Like,
right.
You can argue either way. Like, if you want to argue dominance, there's nobody that can guard Shaq. Duncan, his career speaks for itself. So
Right.
you can argue. I mean, that's a solid 10. I mean, I guess it depends on, what you like.
Okay.
You can't argue with Kareem. You can't argue with Magic. You can't argue with Mike.
Larry.
You can't argue with LeBron. You can't argue with them guys. Like,
no, I agree with that.
like, I'm just saying, like, that dude could play in any era.
No, LeBron?
Yeah, I think.
Oh, definitely. You know what? But some players today be like, yo, I don't know when he passed Magic. So, I mean, did you have him pass Magic already yourself?
Well, not quite, but I mean, I can't argue that he's where he is. Like, I can't argue that. You get what I'm saying? Like, I can't argue that. Right?
Yeah.
Because I can say, like, them guys can play in any era. All those 10 guys can play any era.
Yeah, a lot of people sleep.
60s,
a lot of people sleep on Larry a lot. I noticed too, but Larry was a beast.
Because I don't, he's not. He was exciting to watch for us because we like this white dude he's killing everybody. But
right,
he's not athletic. He don't really look like a basketball player. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, like his uniform don't fit him right. Like, he don't look like the prototypical basketball player until you got to get out there with him.
Right.
and then he closed your mouth when you know he's winning and making plays,
Yeah.
and he's tough. And he's tough. Like he'll fight you in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I was reading about him, but I wasn't born. But he won 3 straight MVPs. That's ridiculous.
MVP, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's a guy. His back don't go. Ain't no telling what they win.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He
And you know, it was your
Tracy
boys,
McGrady.
Dennis and Isaiah, who said if he was black, nobody would care about him and stuff like that.
Nobody would care. Nobody would care. They
What?
only said it because he's white.
You think so? Okay.
Oh, I know so. I
All right.
know so.
Larry didn't like that from them too. I think we lost Cave actually now.
Oh, what? He froze. What happened?
You froze, man.
He was singing in the Princeton Middle School. That's my brother saying that. He knows too. Actually, so
We're not down you. We just want to hear it. That's all.
gotcha. No, what do you say? No disrespect to Duncan, but Shaq's better.
I'm back. Now, who said that?
My boy Ray just said no disrespect to Duncan, but
You know
Shaq was
what,
better.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it just depends on what you're looking at, I think. But even that thing with Bird, like, Bird was nasty, man. Like, I can't put it on his skin color. The dude was nasty, man.
Oh, yeah.
Nasty, man.
How about that shot,
And,
kid?
you know, that's what I'm saying. Like, the dude was just nasty, man. Like, sometimes you just got to give credit. When the guy can hoop, he just can hoop, man. Like, you want to say he wouldn't get that, but he did it at every level. He did it at the college level, too.
Yeah.
It ain't like he had just, you know, they just found a white guy and said, oh, this is the guy we're going to pump. Like, he was putting up numbers.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna
I know
actually
we always want to. I know we always want to say, you know, pull the race coverage. You can't say that. Like, there's a lot of good basketball players. You know, some white guys that can really play the game. Like, as much as I, you know, don't like to give him credit because of my competitive nature, but Bobby Hurley, when you to go to a Final Four without a turnover, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, everybody don't do that. Like, that dude was good in college. Like,
Oh, yeah.
he struggled at the pro level, but he could play. He could fly out and play. He wasn't soft. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or Mark Price was really nasty. People don't even know about him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mark Price was really, really nasty.
Yeah.
Really nasty. Yeah. Man, it was some guys that could really play the game, man. You know, I think we get caught up in the skin color, but them dudes could really play. You know?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. That team, I don't know why they kept losing. They had a nice team with him and Doherty. He was nasty. Right. But anyway, Cave, any more questions for Cave? Josh, we're gonna move on to dating.
The kid from Denver. I like. What's
English?
the kid from Denver?
Oh, Joker?
No. Any more questions? Yeah. Let me know.
Josh?
Oh, no, but thank you for coming on, Cave. We appreciate it. And see you again next week.
Appreciate it, Cave. Have a good one, my man.
All right, Cave.
I like that dude.
All right.
All right, man.
Pass. No, man, anytime. Y'all keep doing what y'all do.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You just cut him off?
No, he exited the call, guys.
Josh Savage, man. No, it's all good. Moving right along to our dating topics for those of you that are still watching. This is Bank's favorite time of the show, so we're gonna get him right into it. And about the meme that we found, or that one of us found, that said, what is about men paying? Oh yeah, this is crazy. I don't know if that was a meme. That was a girl's post, right?
I think it was a girl's post. It was a girl's post.
I would have to find the actual post, Josh. Should have found that, but it said,
yeah, it's I can send it to you in the group.
Yeah, you can real quick, but it's about men should pay all the bills.
I'll read it for everyone.
All right, go ahead.
And this is from Miss Desiree Mitchell. Women should be financially taken care of in a relationship. Your woman shouldn't have to worry about paying a damn thing. The damn is in caps. If you cannot afford to take care of a woman completely, don't date or pursue a woman until you can. The woman is the prize. Pay for it.
Oh, okay.
The highlight there is the woman is the prize, so pay for it on that. So, Bank, what are your thoughts on that post?
I don't think my thing is this is am I raising you or are we together? Because I feel like she's coming from a perspective of like the golden child, spoiled little princess. Daddy does everything for me, blah blah blah. He needs to take care of me. And I'm not like, especially with all this independent stuff and all that, I feel like she's just cut from a completely different cloth of just falling for some fairy tale that she never grew past the age of 10. And I think if you are with someone, I don't think it should come to a point to where this person has to sacrifice everything that they're doing to abide and uplift you, as opposed to, you put each person put in a certain effort together.
Yeah, I agree with you on a lot of that. Josh, what are your thoughts on the post when you hear it?
Absolutely. And had to give a shout out to Vaughn. So he said, what up? Shout out to Vaughn. Vaughn Hebron.
Yeah.
Move his fitness company. So shout out to them. But yes, I do think it is a bit unrealistic in terms of the expectations, especially since, oh yes, we definitely want Jazz for this conversation. Thank you. Yes, Jazz. Thank you.
What's going on?
What up?
Jazzo, what's going on?
What's up? What's up?
Not much. Where you at? We can't see you, bro.
I don't know. Oh, there I go.
There you go. There you go. Hey, Josh, you want to kind of give them the highlights of that post?
Absolutely. So essentially, some young lady said, Jazz, women should be financially taken care of in a relationship. Your woman shouldn't have to worry about paying a damn thing. If you cannot afford to take care of a woman completely, don't date or pursue a woman until you can. The woman is the prize. Pay for it.
How old is young?
Man, she's an adult. I would say between 25 and 30. I would say if I'm looking at her.
Oh yeah. Well, when you say young, right, and not not being offensive, but that is a young statement, because at the same time, you're right. I think that nobody should be in a relationship until you're able to, one, take care of yourself fully, and you're able to bring something to the table in a relationship. As far as taking care of the other person, I mean, I didn't know that you were dating a child. Like, that's who you take care of. You take care of your kids. Like everybody else is, is in it to build something together. And if you just looking at her being a prize, or she feels as though she's the prize and she ain't bringing nothing to the table but her looks, those will soonly fade. Trust me. The looks will fade, and then you're left with paying for what?
Exactly.
Yeah.
A depreciated asset, Jazz. Thank you.
Yeah. So my thing is, both parties, the man and the woman, or the whoever they are, but if you're in a relationship, everybody should be considered a prize. So how about the guy that feels the same way? So, everybody should be looking to be treated fairly and bringing something to the table, and we all should be treated the same.
Yeah, the whole prize thing got to me too. I'm like, I'm a prize too. I'm saying, why you the prize?
I know I'm the prize. I'm the catch. I'm bringing to the table. And if you ain't bringing nothing to the table and talking about somebody needs to just pay for everything, then again, that's a young statement. It is a young woman, and she's not really prepared to be in a relationship that's going far anyway.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, Josh. I guess you agree with the same. I guess, Josh. Yeah.
Absolutely, and unfortunately, she's telegraphing her dependency as well, so she's going to be high maintenance.
I don't see for me, right? I wouldn't really know what type of maintenance she is or she isn't because that would have been dead the moment she even fixed her lips to say that. That would have been over. So we would have never found out anything beyond that point.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Was that what you were talking about the other day with, on the other live, Josh? Something similar to that? Or was it something different you were talking about? With Chloe and the other night when you were doing, you said
Oh, it was something similar. Chloe might be in the comments. So Chloe, could you put that in the comments, please?
okay. She did. Shout out to Chloe.
By the way,
Jazz,
oh no, my bad. Go ahead.
what's up with you though, Jazz? How you been last week?
I've been all right. I've been trying to stay busy. Trying not to watch the news. You know,
To play devil's
that's
advocate.
all.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, I'm trying to see who playing devil advocate and what they got to say being the devil.
That's actually my brother Eric on there who just said that. I want to hear his devil's advocate.
Yeah, I want to hear what he gonna say to help her out.
Yeah, I'm curious as well.
Come on with it, Eric, since you got a lot to say.
Yo, where did one of your brothers have a Dear Josh letter as well?
That was Nate. Yeah.
Nate Dizzle.
Yeah. He moved to Florida. He moved in March. So.
Oh, you got another person to visit.
Yeah, exactly.
He ain't said yet.
I don't know what he's doing, but anyway, how the family though, Dad? Everything good, Joe?
Yeah, everything good.
Oh, here you go.
And you willing to pay for that? That's it. He ain't looking for much.
Yeah, not to mention.
Yeah, I mean,
as a son of an attorney, prostitution is illegal. So.
Yeah, because that's what he. I mean, that's what he paying for.
I mean, he also said cook, clean, take care of the kids too, something like that. So what?
Cook, clean, take. So now he taking care of the he. So I mean, when he go get to enjoy any of that, because he gonna be working, because he gotta now take care of her and take care of the kids too. Oh man, he ain't gonna have no strength to do nothing. So she gonna open her legs all she want. He ain't gonna be able to do nothing with it.
I mean, I agree. Like this whole what are you paying for then? If I'm on everything, that don't make any sense to me a little bit.
So. Look. At the end of the day, it all depends on what you're looking for.
Right. Did we lose him?
Froze. Jazz, can you still hear us?
It goes into a unit as one. That's what it's supposed to be, and that's what it should be. It should be as one. And if you're going into the unit as one, then there shouldn't be no separation. So it shouldn't be, well, I gotta take care of her or she gotta take care of me. It should be we taking care of each other. And if you're not doing that, then you have either a one-sided relationship or a three-quarter relationship or a quarter relationship. Neither one of y'all are fully committed to you ain't fully committed to her, she ain't fully committed to you. So I mean, at the end of the day, I guarantee you it will be a waste of time.
Yeah, that makes sense. 100%. It was another post I seen, right? This guy did the other day. This was like yesterday, and this wasn't in what you wrote, Josh, but I kind of just went away. But this guy, he posted Jazz. He posted Jay-Z and Beyonce. Then he posted Gucci Mane and his wife, and then Snoop and his wife. And he was trying to say like all these chicks stayed around and went through the dudes cheating or getting locked up or doing nonsense, and now they still there. And that women need to be more patient and stick by their dudes.
Okay, I got questions. I'm not familiar with any of these relationships, but is Snoop Dogg with the same girl that he was with when he didn't have any money? Is that the same chick he was with when he had no money?
Yeah.
And Gucci, Mike, and who else you said it was?
It was Gucci and his wife. Then it was Jay-Z and Beyonce. It was three. Is
Gucci wife the same one that when he went to jail, came home and she had some money for him?
Yeah.
She took the money and took his money and made an investment and gave him more of his money. Okay. Yeah. So that don't even those are two totally different things. So they wasn't around for the whole cheating. They're around for the long haul because they're building something together as a unit, right?
Right.
And Gucci and Beyonce and Jay-Z, you're talking about two separate situations. You're talking about that's just a whole different topic there.
Right.
A whole different topic. Jay-Z and Beyonce, they don't even have the amount of time or the same I guess commitment as the other relationships had. You see what I'm saying? So they was by the time they got together, they was already both well off.
Right. So he's trying to tell the chicks, what would life be without pain and struggle? Like, he might have did this to you, but he might be the one for you at the end of the day. So
he's trying to justify. So he's trying to justify cheating.
Basically, in my opinion,
there is no justification for that. I mean, now don't get me wrong. People do it all the time, and you be forgiven for it, right? And things do happen, or whatever the case is, and you will hope that everybody can bear through it and deal with the pain if you really mean it when you say I'm sorry and you don't do it again. But when you keep doing the same thing over and over, now you just doing it and you just trying to make justifications to, well, such and such went through it and they was able to build off of it, and such and such went through it, and you just gotta be patient with me. I'm just learning. I'm just going through this. This is my first relationship. Nobody want to hear none of that nonsense. At the end of the day, but that's all it is. Because for me, if we in a committed relationship and you tell me that you cheated on me last year, it's over. Right. We ain't gotta talk about we don't even gotta talk about why, how come. Well, you was working a lot. It don't even matter. Whatever I was doing, obviously it wasn't enough to make you say this is where I need to be. So we just going not even try to break it down or either try to figure it out because I'm just out. So there is no justification for that at all.
Right.
In my opinion, anyway. Somebody go say that
I
they
agree.
disagree.
Hey, Bank, you've been quiet for a while. What would you think about his whole statement?
I never agreed with the post.
You never agreed with what?
I didn't agree with the post. I didn't think it really made any sense. I mean, I don't really like basing people's relationships or their decisions based upon what this one person did or what this other person did. And because basically they were commenting on calling Snoop's wife stupid for staying with him based off all the stuff he's done in the past. And but I don't think we have the right to comment on that based upon whatever decisions they made and whatever they did, whatever it is that they did to come through it or deal with it. But I don't know. I didn't really have any comments towards it.
Hey, you know what? And you're right, Banks. You're absolutely right. Because people need to spend more time minding other, spend more time leaving other people's business alone and mind their own business, and they'll have a better relationship.
Yeah, I agree with that. If she wanted to stay, she wanted to stay. If she didn't, she didn't. But I don't believe a woman should have to go through something to be happy. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's cool.
Nobody should have to go through nothing to be happy. Pain and suffering comes, and that's just life. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But in a relationship, that's not. I'm not here to cause you pain, or you're not here to cause me pain.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So when he says, "What would life be without pain and suffering?" It'd be good. What you mean? We don't have to.
Yeah. I mean,
suffering. I
don't know.
I don't agree with that whole situation at all. Hey, what do you think about that, Josh? Before I get to this last topic here. Go ahead.
Well, I guess it's different parameters because they're celebrities, so they are governed by a different set of rules than normal people. So It's a lot different when you actually have tangible access of the highest quality to vices. Personally,
so you think the money made them stay more than just the cheat? You're saying this, or the celebrity, or
they could have left any time and got the same money.
That's true too. Yeah. That's true too. Hey, hey, Jazz, I didn't think about that. What you been watching this last week? We were talking about shows and films to watch.
The Blacklist, man. I'm off the Blacklist.
You ain't finished it though.
Huh?
How you ain't finished? You finished, Banks?
I finished 6. I'm on 7. I'm on season 7, episode 5.
Okay.
I'm on season 6.
Yeah, the Blacklist. You know, I just been hooked on that. I really don't watch a lot of TV, and if I do, then that's it. A couple shows here and there.
All the Underworlds on Netflix. Me and Josh been watching those every week. Stuff like that.
All the Underworlds. There's only been 4 of them, man.
It's 5 of them actually. So
it's 5.
It's 5 of them. Yeah.
I seen them all. I watched them again though. I didn't know that they was on.
Hey, Josh, you invited to our watch party on Sunday.
Yeah, Mental Theater every Sunday at 1:30.
Yeah. If you
we do the Netflix party, Jazz. So you actually get to watch it all at the same time via the computer. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we all watch it at the same exact time. Yeah, and we can comment like on the movie, like right.
I might check that out. I might be interested.
I'm gonna send you the link.
Yeah, send them the link, definitely.
Yeah.
For the see how she had Josh holding out, Jazz. He didn't even tell you, man.
Yeah, I know. Josh busy, man. Josh a busy man.
Hey, and what was this one, Josh? How much contact is too much? That's interesting.
Oh yeah, because that meme that had some Jazz, some girl I think in China or something. She called her boyfriend like 27,000 times, and then they put her in jail.
She called her boyfriend 27,000 times, and they put her in jail. Why? Why did she go to jail? Harassment. He filed harassment.
I guess their laws are a little bit different, but I mean, even after the third call, like, what is she doing?
I mean, what you mean? She called him. Like, I don't know.
You
talking about phone contact? I mean, I don't know what you mean contact. Phone contact, physical contact.
Oh, a phone call.
I don't really understand.
A phone call.
No. So the whole question was, how many times is a phone call too much times?
Right.
It depends. You never know, because I mean, there's no set limit on how many phone calls, or because let's say you are, even if you with your girlfriend and you like a driver, or you like a delivery person, and your most of your phone calls are while you're on the road on an earpiece, even though you probably shouldn't be talking and driving, but you know what I mean? So I don't know. They'll probably call you a lot. If you left her home with the kids and the kids have different issues, depending on how many kids you got, I'm quite sure she will call you more than she would call, than, if y'all didn't. Or if y'all going through y'all in love stage, and she'll probably contact you more. I think each relationship determines the amount. I don't never think it's what's too much. I mean, to me, I may look at your situation, but man, that gotta be annoying to me, because I'll be in a barbershop, and I have people in the barbershop, and I have people, girlfriends, call the shop and ask for them, and I thought that was too much, or
Yeah, I've seen it. Call the actual shop, like the
yeah.
Shop. Yeah, it's crazy.
So to me, that's too much, and that's too much. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But if y'all new, right? So if it's a new relationship, then you might call each other more than it is if you are got a lot of years in.
Right. Well, Josh, you posted this. What do you think? Is there too much for you?
Definitely. I feel like each person does have a limit. Like, I feel like girls call it at a certain point, they're going to block you. Like after 10, 20, if the person keeps calling you, there's always going to be a limit.
I think it depends on what you're calling for.
Well, I'm sorry. So I'm mistaken. It's actually ex-boyfriend. So that was my fault with the contact.
How much? Oh, wait, how much contact it is with your ex-boyfriend?
No, yeah.
How much contact? How much contact is it with your ex-boyfriend?
Yeah.
I think he broke up with her, but she kept calling him. What happened in that situation?
Oh, she broke up with him and she kept calling him?
Yeah.
He broke up with her. She kept calling him. Yeah. In that situation. That's the contact.
It depends. Again, what were you talking about? Was you asking for your things back? Was you asking for you were just asking to see how he was doing? Like, I don't even think that you cared after you broke up with him. Like, too much.
Is there too much for you, Jazz? Like, if you were dating somebody, like, just gonna leave me alone?
Okay, so you know me. If I'm dating somebody and we break up, most of my for me, I'm not into the bad breakup terms. So I'm still, most of my relationships, I'm still friends, and we still friends. It didn't work, so we moved on. Now we're not probably going to talk to each other every day, or we're not going to. But I will check up on you and see how you're doing, and check up on your family, this and that. But no, I don't think we'll talk every day. But you could call me every day for what? So at that point, it might be a little bit too much. If you call me every day, 3-4 times a day, ask me about some nothing, then that was the whole, we broke up for a reason. We ain't trying to get back together, so we don't need that much contact.
Right. Okay. What about you, Banks? I want to hear Banks' answer on this. Is how much contact is too much for you?
It'll be basically, I feel like it's the same thing. Like, what is my thing? I don't feel like you need to call me a whole bunch of times, but it depends. If it's an emergency, that's different. But if it's just like in general, I don't need like multiple phone calls. Like, I'm not dealing with that.
And so do you feel a certain kind of way if she call you and just check on you and your family, your nieces and your nephew? Do you feel a certain kind of way?
I wouldn't.
Okay.
No.
That's cool. How about you?
Me?
Mike?
I mean, it's got context. I mean, if you just, I'm with you, Jazz. Like, I don't know what's too much. Like, if you calling me a couple, like, I don't know. Like, if you call me throughout the day, but we talking, it's cool. Like, if you know I'm doing something and you want to, and you mad, like, okay, let's say if I'm out with you, me and you went to the movies, something like that, and she know I'm going, but she keep calling me because she like, I don't care what you're doing, then that's too much.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
You know what I mean? But if I'm free, then she can call anytime she wants to. You know what I mean? So I don't really know
you got to hold them. Got to take them off there. You could call whenever. You could call whenever you want to, but I ain't answering every single time you call.
That too. At the same time,
especially if I'm out. Especially if I already done talked to you and I'll tell you that I'm doing something, and you just keep calling, like just to make small talk. Then nah, we're not gonna keep doing that.
Yeah. That's what I think about it. I don't know if there's actual too much. I feel like Josh. I don't know. I feel like Josh don't want to be bothered that much. That's why.
Well, Josh don't. Well, Josh is different. So Josh is all the way different. Josh relationship ideas is totally different. So with Josh, it's probably going to be exactly that. Why? Like, you know what I mean? With Josh, it's like, why? It's over. Like, why you call me? Like, I'm good. Or if I'm not, what difference do it make to you? Like, you know what I mean?
Right. Is that accurate,
Jazz?
I got you, Josh. I got you.
The translator's in the building. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, Josh. What's up with Kaisha, man? How's she doing?
Oh, she doing good. She all right. She good. She taking it easy.
Okay.
Taking it easy. I actually got to tell her. I'm about to tell her that y'all asked about it and gave her a shout out. I want to see because I want to send her the link. I want to see can she log in some kind of way and make somebody mad at her.
Yeah, we gotta have a topic that she can get on.
I'll let her know.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm about to be out because I gotta go put the lights up in my daughter's room.
All right, well, thanks for joining, Jazz. We appreciate it.
All right, no problem.
All right, Jazz.
Y'all take it easy. All right, y'all be good.
Yes,
see y'all soon. All
right.
Later.
All right, another episode with Jazzo on the call. We got some more Josh insight, with the whole situation. And how are we looking at this stuff right now?
I think that was it, right?
That was basically
the topic that we had. Anything else you want to bring up, Banks, for pop culture and stuff like that?
Yeah.
6ix9ine. We talk about that actually.
Yeah, we can talk about that. Where do you want to start? It's like it's a process with him.
Let's start with what you think about what he done did so far.
We could start with. We could start with that foundation that denied his $200,000 donation to feeding the kids.
Okay, how do you feel about that?
I personally think for whatever reason of them rejecting his money, I think it's wrong per se, because I get the image of what 6ix9ine portrays and the backlash and the jail time and the trolling and the colorful hair and the tattoos. I get that, but the real person 6ix9ine, like the Daniel, like it's been shown and documented where he gives money to his community. Like he'll go to the schools in his community and give kids 20, 10, $100 bills just cause, like, here, take this, like, stay in school, like, here, get some new shoes, get something to eat. Like, he's been documented doing that just off the whim. And in general, I think he's like a good kid, and he's just being an entertainer, gone wrong to an extent. But why penalize kids who need food, who need the resources, just because of you feel this person is whatever impression you have of him doesn't give you the right to just return a donation of, especially a sizable donation of that nature. I just didn't see I didn't think it made sense to do that.
Yeah,
it's not like the money's illegal. It's all legal money.
Yeah, it's funny because isn't it called like "No Kids Go Hungry" or something like that? I think it's pretty much called. And somebody wrote in the comments, so I guess some kids go hungry because it's like they didn't take the money that can feed the kids. It's about what the money is for, And it's not like you said, like it's not like all his money, no matter what he went to jail for, it wasn't like drug money. It was like legal money that he had, stuff like that. He went to jail for other stuff, but not for like being a kingpin and stuff like that. So that's not
exactly. So I just thought that was corny.
Yeah, I agree with that. Let's talk about what he did though when he got out. You thought that was genius, right?
Of course. Like, come on. what 6ix9ine did of using the negative energy of like him snitching and people hating him, and then coming up with that song, Big Man, You Man, Ha Ha, like it's stupid, but it works for the context of what 6ix9ine has to offer. And I think the way he positioned himself and his marketing team really used that to his advantage. And I think with what he did, a lot of people are getting mad because they're seeing the numbers. They're like accusing him of having fake streams, like he's not as popular. And then they're even throwing like Bobby Shmurda in the mix, saying like, oh, when he comes out, he's going to have big numbers too. But if you look at it, if you want to be honest, because I like Bobby Shmurda, I like him. But if you want to be honest, Bobby Shmurda hasn't been around for what, almost 10 years? It's been almost a decade.
Yeah. Wow. And years.
Yeah, it's been a while. And if you look at it, when they make
almost about 10, it's probably been about 5 or 6 more. So yeah.
I don't know. I think it's been close. But I think it's been maybe not 10, but at least 7 or 8. But I think with when he comes out in August, and based upon like the posts that they've been posting, they've been circling around with like, old interviews and, comments he's been making. It hasn't really broke. I don't even think it broke like over 100,000 likes. Maybe like some big posts of him being aligned with somebody. But other than that, it's been like 10,000 likes here, 15,000 likes, 8,000 likes, a couple hundred likes. When 6ix9ine was in jail and people were commenting on what he was doing or what he was going to do or what people were going to do to him, it was automatically 100,000 plus likes, 1 million likes, 500,000 likes, 200,000 likes. Like you can see the momentum that's been brewing. But with Bobby, I mean, people in the streets are like, yeah, but at the end of the day, people in the streets don't always support you.
I think it's just okay. It's a lot to unpack with 6ix9ine, like you said, as far as his marketing savvy, I think is genius. None takes away from what he did though, to put people behind bars and stuff like that. But I think his marketing is genius. As far as him compared to Bobby, I don't think Bobby would do more numbers because Bobby never had the following he had in the first place. 6ix9ine had, so he wouldn't do more numbers. Secondly, the more time he's away, the more forgotten that you are. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he got a couple years left still, Bobby. So by the time he get out, it's different. And it's weird to say, but because Bobby didn't snitch, his story isn't compelling as much. So people won't tune in right away to hear what he got to say.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, Josh? Like he's got something that people want to hear because of what he did and stuff like that. So
well, yeah, he's what's the term? He is clickbaiting in real time. He's a real time clickbait as a person, as a being.
Right, as a being. Where Bobby just went to jail straight up. So I don't think he'll do as many numbers as him. But I did say because 6ix9ine has decided to be so, so on the front lines now and stuff like that. Like I feel like the more he wins, the bigger the target gets. Right? Because I feel like that people not only like if he wasn't going to be in jail, they didn't want him to win at all. They didn't want him to be making $10 million. They didn't want him to do that or whatever. If he would have been a bum and not been able to sell a track, they would be happier. So the more he wins, the people who he told on, their people, they get more infuriated. So the bigger the target gets, I think, in that situation. So it's interesting because remember, seeing that house that he was at during the live, they already had to move him from that house just by the line, because you can see little stuff and know where houses is at and stuff like that. So they already had to move him. So I can imagine when he tried to do really come out at some point after the quarantine, and the quarantine might be saving him a little bit too, by the way. But after that, where he can go to do interviews or go to concerts and all that good stuff, somebody will have a target on his back. He won't have to have 24-hour security, nonstop, everything. I swear, for years. So, it is what it is. It's Betty lying, and I guess it's better than being in jail. But he definitely could look over his shoulders at all times. So that's just what I think. But again, his marketing is genius. I gotta give him that. So
phenomenal.
Yeah,
numbers is crazy.
Now, Josh, let me ask you a question, because we all agree snitches should get stitches and they shouldn't, be what they do. If you were a show like The Breakfast Club and you knew what type of views he would garner, would you ban him like they did, or would you have him on?
I mean, they really don't need the views like that. It'll get a little bump.
Well, the two interviews he did before anything happened are still the biggest record-breaking shows they've ever had. Just because he was on it.
Get him on.
Right. So you wouldn't, despite the snitching, you would still have him on. You're saying.
Well, again, we all know this decision is going to be down in the boardroom, so they're going to get him on.
Right. Banks, you see that? You reading that?
You think 6ix9ine did was wrong on the reasons he gave in this video? Do I think he's wrong? I think the whole situation is wrong. I mean, they should have never put him in that predicament. What I will say is, based upon what happened, I think he is not wrong for what he said, because a lot of the evidence that he presented was already in the forefront. They just needed concrete details on certain aspects. And I think a lot of people are even taking the things out of context, what he said about with Cardi B and Jim Jones and Casanova. They were just, I feel like a lot of people are looking past when they asked that question, they were just basically advising his association with them. And they were asking their association with what they did, what they done in the gang culture. It's obvious that Cardi B is a blood member. It's obvious that Jim Jones was a known blood member. They have this information. They present this information to the masses in their videos. So I don't understand when people are getting so upset when he just mentioned something that's already out in music videos, that's in their songs, and what they say on a daily basis. So I didn't really get that part. I feel like they're just oversaturate. I feel like they're oversaturating that particular aspect of when he commented on that. But if you look at what he's saying and what the evidence that they had, I mean, I don't know what they expect him to do, because at the end of the day, they were going to kill him. If he didn't say nothing, they still would have killed him in jail. That's a fact.
It's interesting, right? Because according to his video, he says that they kidnapped him, right? Kidnapped his mom. They beat him up. They slept with his baby mom, right?
I don't believe that the way she acting now.
Right. So he feels like he was justified in snitching because of the things that they did to him. And the code of the street, quote unquote, is that either way he shouldn't have snitched because, he was down with them in the beginning.
And I think what hurts him is the fact is this. By him throwing himself in that situation and taking advantage of it. I think that's like the biggest thing of him throwing himself into it. I feel like it would have been a little different if like he was really about that life, and then all of a sudden they just betrayed him. I get that, but I think what's going on with the severity of like the background and everything, I just think he kind of has a point, but it's just like the way he did it. It's just like which is kind of disheartening to an extent. Because it's like you did throw yourself into this, and you did also put out hits on people that you made these people take these shots on people. Like they didn't do it on their own free will. You asked them to do it. You paid them to do it.
The irony to me is funny because for our younger people who don't know this, and Josh, you may know this, but or whoever may know this, but have you ever read or seen a documentary about Nicky Barnes, Banks, or Josh? The gangster from Harlem.
I didn't see it.
Well, the ironic, right? That's the ironic thing to me, right? Because he snitched, and people still talk about him, huh?
Like Frank Lucas,
right? But Nicki snitched, and they still talk about him and Frank, but Nicki particularly talking about in rap songs, and they glorify him and all this other stuff, right? But they hate 6ix9ine. But it's funny because if you look at why Nicki snitched, he snitched for the exact same reasons. They set him up, told on him, and his main boy start messing with his girl, and the FBI played tapes of the dude messing with Nicki's girl while he was in jail, and that's what made Nicki snitch. And he literally said, "Once you start messing with my girl, like why am I not telling you?" So it's almost the same scenario, but he's glorified, and 6ix9ine is like,
I think the difference with that is because if you look at Jazz Boy, the guy who owns Don Diva. Kevin Childs, he talks about that. And because I think I don't know if it was him or I think it was him because he had some part of his case as well in the past, like with his drug case. Because, but I think the way he explained it was this, because he said, and pertaining to his situation, he would have never got booked because his team was solid, that his team didn't say nothing. And if this particular person, if his case and then someone else who told didn't say nothing, he would have been free because they had nothing to stick on him. But I think the difference between him and 6ix9ine is this: Nicky Barnes was about that life, and this was his environment. 6ix9ine did this for to jump in just to kind of get credibility to build his music career. Like he had no. I honestly don't think he had any intention, or he didn't actually have any intention of staying.
But to your point, right? Wouldn't that mean he would be the one you would expect to snitch because he wasn't about that life more than Nicki, who was about that life? So, right? You would think that Nicki would be the one who be stand up at the end of the day.
Exactly. So I the reason why I can't compare them because I feel like Nicki should know better because he actually signed up for this. 6ix9ine just ran into it just like, oh, I'm going to do this just to get my clout. And then when things go wrong, I'm out, which he tried to do. And then everyone got indicted.
Yeah, I think, Josh, they both were a little petty Pendergrass. And when they found out the dudes were messing with their chick and trying to take them over or whatever, they're like, okay, hello, FBI, got some, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So, and ironically, Josh, what's funny is it's the chick part that takes them over the edge, right? When they start, and I'm keeping this very clean because I know your radio, but when they start sleeping with their girls, that's when they're like, you know what? Why am I, taking up for him? Why am I not talking with him right now? Stuff like that. So that's the irony to it all to me.
Which is crazy.
It is crazy, stuff like that. So
you just throw your whole organization out of the way for a chick.
I mean, in Nicki's case, he was already going to do mad time, so he was just like, "Yo, why am I doing this time?" In Nicki's case, okay, and I don't want to think about Nicki, but if I'm sitting here, you outside messing with my chick, That's why I hit your head even harder. So I'm in here.
mean, Nikki was at closer to the top of the pyramid though as well.
Yeah, he was. He was at the top of the pyramid at the time.
So that's why I'm like, he could restart the organization.
This is true. What you say if he was black? That would be a question whether or not his intentions were really being a gangster. So the race play a role, Banks, I guess.
Yeah, what ethnicity is he? I don't know anything about him.
He's Mexican and white, right?
No, he's Mexican and Puerto Rican.
Yeah, Mexican and Puerto Rican. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
If he was black, would it be different?
Yeah.
I think it would be different. Yeah. I think it would be different. I don't know if I think his of how he was brought out in his marketing team, I think it would have been completely different if he was black. And especially the shade of black. Like if he was like a darker tone, I don't think it would work. If it may be a lighter tone, maybe. Because they use that for the media based upon like how you look, how you present yourself. But if he was like like a dark dude with colorful hair or whatever, I don't think they would be able to market it just based off of
I think she asking if he was black, will his actions be interpreted different, or are everybody coming in because he's not black and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think it would.
Okay.
I think they would look down on him even more.
Okay.
Right. Because even though he's not in Spanish, I mean he's like white. Yeah. They're looking at he's white. Especially when it comes to color, like they're just going to think you're white.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, for his sake, I would never, ever, ever again go to Mexico, or Puerto Rico. Don't ever go there.
Wait, why not?
They don't tolerate those type of things.
Oh yeah.
There's some people, let's say, who are angry and they don't even know him.
Yeah, you're right.
Because their life's been altered by a snitch. So their petty Pendergrass is going to be at a very dangerous level.
Hey, Chloe, if she's still watching, or any other females, y'all have any interesting dating or relationship topics you want us to kind of dive into? Because there's 3 men here talking.
From a lady's perspective, since
from a lady's perspective,
say that we don't get enough women's perspective on the show.
Well, we got a couple. I ain't gonna say right now, but that's the reason why. So. We're gonna give it a few minutes just to see, because we kind of went through all of our topics already. So this can be a live chat.
Or if anything, think of it and hit us up on the page, and we could talk about it more in depth next week. Maybe even have Ed on the show.
All right.
You try to holler at her tonight, Jess? Or no, she's busy.
Who?
I mean, Josh. Yeah.
No, her. She got cranky once it hit after 10.
Ish.
She did.
You gotta hit her early.
Watch her be watching too.
Making her little sea moss drinks and stuff like that. You know how she do. So I want them to be able to ask questions interactively. So if they got some that we can answer from a guy's perspective, especially what you two, especially so. But we don't get any. It's cool. We went through all of our stuff this time, so I'm cool with that. We'll give it a minute or two and stuff. So
interesting.
So doing your runs, Banks?
Yeah, but I had to cut it short today. My legs were killing me. But
what's your goal? What's your goal? Like do 5 miles?
It's not really a goal. I'm in some challenges. Like I'm in this. Like I told you, I'm in this. Like a travel group, and this other group it's called Quarantine, and like we all decided to do a challenge, like 30 miles in 30 days. But I'm already about to hit that. Like probably tomorrow. I probably would have hit it last week, but I had to stop. My legs are hurting. But like I'm just part of these challenges, and I'm part of another run challenge with like people from all over, from like Atlanta, New York, Jersey, and somewhere else. But there's like that challenge is crazy. It's like 30 people versus another group of 30 people, and the whole group has to hit at least the group in total has to hit at least 285 miles.
When are you going to Atlanta again? Since they've been open now for like a week or two.
We'll find out.
I feel like I'm almost gonna put an over under on when Banks, like the date when Banks goes to like Atlanta. It's gonna be before July. I'm telling you right now. So.
Anything is possible.
Anything's possible.
Well, I would say Houston before Atlanta, personally.
No, he going to Atlanta first. I'm telling you, because he do like Atlanta weekend trips, so he be back and forth from Atlanta. That's like nothing to him right now. How long was that flight? Hour and a half, maybe?
Yeah, it's like if it's nonstop, it's like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah, that's like a light
Hey,
flight.
yo,
For you.
what's up with Nas? Is he enjoying married life?
Ish.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. No, I think he is. He's just, he's getting adjusted.
Nice.
But he's being there for his wife and his daughter, doing his home workouts. I see them working out together in the park. And then he does his little selfie. I get people get mad at me, like, yo, tell your boys stop posting videos of him with no shirt on, with sweating and stuff in front of the camera. I had to unfollow him because I remember one time he posted a video of him in the shower, about to go in the shower or whatever. But his story, he does these thirst trap things sometimes.
Yo, he should start our OnlyFans.
Yo, we missed that topic. How did you feel about the whole thing, Kia with Safari and Erica with the OnlyFans?
Me personally, I wouldn't do that. I just feel like you're just giving too much of yourself out to the public. I mean, I get the reasoning in regards to making money. Why not? But I mean, you're a married couple, and you have now you have kids. You have a kid. Well, I don't know if they have the kid now, but what type of example are you presenting? Because at the end of the day, when you have kids, you live for the future of your kids. Why not? I just don't understand the reasoning of you justifying that that's okay. Because at the end of the day, your kid, once your kid gets older, they're going to be able to retrace that and like, oh, my parents are showing themselves online. That's embarrassing.
Quite.
Yeah. For them to, yeah. For other people, I kind of understand it. And it's interesting, especially right now in the pandemic when they have a hard time making money. But the interesting thing is fun. Well, I got two thoughts on the whole thing. But one, I think like a lot of strippers, actual strippers, might not go back to the strip club because they're making so much money off OnlyFans right now, and they don't have to leave.
On the Breakfast Club, sorry to cut you off, Mike. On the Breakfast Club, they mentioned that they're going to do a portal, like called Demon Time or something, or
Demon Time. Yeah, just after hours, basically.
Right, and they're gonna do like a live shows for OnlyFans. It's gonna be like an OnlyFans portal where they can do like a live, and give you that virtual sensation of like being in a strip club but live.
But some of these girls like, yo, I'm telling you, like, I don't have to buy outfit changes. I don't have to get it, make sure I get there back and forth, make sure I'm safe. I can be in my living room and shake my ass and make money. Like the strip clubs, not gonna get all of them to come back. I'm telling you right now. That's one thing.
Like I know a girl I went to school with. She was like, goody two shoes, quiet, and like really, really smart. Now she like turned into a whole complete different person. Now she got her OnlyFans and she's talking about like get these outfits, and she calls it her alter egos. And like whenever you see the kitten ears, that's when there's a new post coming up and like all this stuff. And then she's like, oh, I think I feel liberated. Like if I didn't get paid to do this, I think I would just do it for free. You know how some girls talk about being a nudist and all that other stuff. But I feel like this is like a high for some of just being liberated of doing this and then also getting paid to do it. And a lot of people are paying.
Yeah, when we get done, I'll ask for that link to that friend you're talking about. But no,
I'll send you her page.
I'm joking, but
to add on to your point, host, I think they'll be more innovative like they are in Europe, because in Europe the strip clubs have the webcam model set up in the actual strip club. So right. Just like how we understand that presentation is everything, especially online. So they have more things pleasing to the eye in terms of the aesthetics in the strip club. And you could still do the same thing, and it would be social distancing from other strippers as well. So it could work.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I think some of the strippers, or if they actually do dance for a living, this might be their way to finally cut the middleman out, right? They won't have to pay the
Right.
actual club or whatever other parts, especially if they don't even use the location. It's, I'm doing it from my living room. Maybe they can put a pole in their house and make it really interactive without the third party in place. And I think
I
that's what's
think
going to
that's only
happen.
the smart ones because a lot
Right.
of these girls. I think that's only the smart ones because a lot of these girls have pimps.
Exactly.
A lot of them have like there's a lot of these only fan pages and like how creative some of these girls can get. That's coming from a man's mind. Somebody's behind it. You could tell, especially with the antics that they're doing, and like you could tell there's a guy behind that camera, and there's a guy cashing in. Like I forgot, there's a rapper in Houston. Um, I forgot his name, but he was on Academics page a couple times, but he gave up rap just to pimp girls legally and by putting them on OnlyFans. Like he's about to put his assistant on OnlyFans. He's talking about how she made $15,000 in less than a week by showing her feet.
You'd be surprised, man. It's crazy. But to that being said, you got to think about, to me, the older standards. I mean, so let's go past just the girls who are like, just dancing on there, right? But the girls who are actually like doing porn on there with their boyfriends or whoever, you got to think about the old standards of, first of all, you can only do porn in two places, LA and Las Vegas at one point, right? For a long time ago, and you had to like work for a major company to make money. Vivid, who Josh right remember, or one of those, or Playboy, one of those people. Now they can just do porn at their house, literally without being in a contract with Vivid, and make their own money. It's that entrepreneurship, I think, that will continue. It's crazy. It's very interesting, but that's what's provided. So. Because you got people doing this. I mean, you'll see a girl in like Seattle, Arizona, Montana. Like you could never do porn in these places before. So I'm just like, but the shit got OnlyFans, and making money at these random places that don't. Where like, at one point LA and Vegas were the porn capitals of the world. You had to move there to do the porn. Now
Right.
it's just interactive. I think
It's
now it's
anywhere.
gonna make you do it even more. So it's just it's very interesting. I'm not saying I agree with all of it, especially, but it's definitely interesting. I think what Chloe said is right. Entrepreneurship in every facet will come out of this whole COVID situation.
And unfortunately, I think only the people who get in first are going to be able to do it, because eventually I'm sure the states will cut it out, like just to go back to those traditional values. And then you're going to have to force a bigger brand or bigger company to go through that funnel again.
That channel, yeah, exactly. It's always somebody involved. Just like you said with the basketball players, right? Or no, it was not basketball. It was I forget who it was, but you were saying like they're going to make them do it at some point because it's always a third party involved. It's going to let make it happen. So it's interesting. So, but if I was, I'm with you though. If I was Safari and Erica, no, I would not be doing that because
right, yeah, it's just like, and plus you just get. I feel like you're giving yourself more scrutiny when it comes to your peers, because even though they might do it, but they just do it on the low key. They're not selling it. It's tacky. Like, why are you doing that? You guys are. I mean, I'm making them sound like A-listers, but they are in the limelight and they are seen on TV and they do make money off of other things. Why are you doing some tacky video play? Oh, I'm going to show my body if you pay me $10 a month or whatever the case is. I just think it's tacky. I think it's just distasteful for what's the amount of talent Safari has, and I mean, whatever. I don't know what she does, but but
that's a great idea.
Break and DJ Envy was here. Break households, but it's just. I don't know.
And you like Petty Pendergrass #2, by the way.
Oh yeah, that's why he banned them off the Breakfast Club.
Yeah, he banned Safari only because he was dating Erica. Like it was
exactly.
Crazy. He's super Petty Pendergrass.
All because of his wife, though.
Yeah, because he cheated on his wife, not because his wife. Let's be clear. Like he
well, yes, but his wife also has not let that go, and she does not. If you notice, like whenever if Charlamagne mentioned her name, Envy will never say her name because he can't.
Right. I get it. But I mean, hey, that's a lot of people. Like if you cheated on someone, they don't want to hear that girl name, especially in your profession. I get it. You know, if a girl cheated on me with Tyrone, I don't want to hear Tyrone's name. You know what I mean?
No Erica Badu, huh, Mike?
Right. You know what I mean? I mean, go back to the situation. I don't
Oh,
hear
did
nothing about him.
Did y'all
You coming like Kaya right now.
If you worked on the show and Tyrone was a musician, and when his new video come out, you better walk away. Have somebody else introduce it. Because I don't want you better never say his name again. Like,
Oh, Tyrone was a musician. Let me find out Tyrone a singer too, Mike.
And he gonna have a remix. Damn.
Even though
Tyrone,
we always blame Tyrone,
like,
but Tyrone was actually the friend. Tyrone wasn't the bad one. Tyrone was just picking him up. So like that, you know.
Tyrone the bad boy R&B, and Mike is the classical. Let me put it down slow. And Tyrone's that quick fast.
And you in the background writing the poetry, doing a poetry slam for us at the same time.
Hell yeah! We can do the verses. Isn't there one coming on Saturday? Actually, there was one tonight with Trina and Trick Daddy.
It wasn't verses. It was their own thing. It wasn't sponsored.
Well, I mean, but they were gonna do one. They did one tonight. Yeah.
First of all, that's dumb because they're on half of the songs together, so it doesn't make any sense.
And I think Trick wrote her songs.
Right, and they're on so many songs together. Secondly, the Erykah Badu and Jill Scott, Jilly from Philly, how even though it was great and it did 1 million views, Josh, which is ridiculous at one time. However, it was putting me to sleep. So only because the songs were a little bit slow and they were having these nice little conversations and whatnot. So, but the Nelly version.
I mean, ratings wise, the ladies love this, so that could be a format going forward.
I mean, okay, again, entrepreneurship coming out of the COVID, right? So the verses started with the COVID, with the views they're getting. Timberland and Swiss can now take this to a TV studio and say, let's make it an actual show and do it every week, versus, and get paid for that, but make it, bigger, have both artists on each side, playing their songs, a live audience, the whole nine. I guarantee it'll become a TV show because they're going to take those views they got and say, look at the numbers that we do. I guarantee. Because, the carpool, what is it? The lip syncing, that was just a segment on Jimmy Fallon's show. Now it's a whole show. You know what I mean? Same thing with the carpool karaoke. So this gonna want to be in the show too. I can see it.
Exactly. I mean, look at the numbers though. I mean,
they are gathering data by doing this every week to bring to a TV studio, right? And say after this is over, let's make this a weekly TV show. That's what I would do. That's entrepreneurship coming out of the COVID.
Absolutely.
But as far as the next one, Nelly versus Luda, you got Nelly, right, Banks?
Yeah.
I got Luda. I'm sorry, man. So we're gonna see what happens.
I feel like Luda, he has hits, but a lot of his hits fall into, I don't know, I just feel like it just falls into one era, one segment with the songs he has.
I think Nelly, who has hits, but he also got a lot of poppy hits. So is the people gonna want to hear him and Tim McGraw? You know what I mean? Inside the battle, or they gonna want to hear, some much stuff. You know what I mean, Josh? They might not want to hear that as much. So
I think both artists are gonna be winning from this versus personally.
Well, they all are because with the verses, all the artists, their songs are getting streamed again because of the verses right now. Also on Tidal, it has each verses, like it has all the songs played in the verses. You can just go play it right now. Shouts out the Tidal. But you can just go to
they do the playlist. They do playlists from after.
Right, exactly.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. That's a good idea.
What up, Ed?
What up, Ed? We just talking about you and whatnot. So what's on the menu for the night? It's crazy. I love how Eb got the thirst trap picture too with her.
Oh wow, eesh.
Yo, good.
Eb has the link. Don't make her come on here, Mike. Ho.
Nah, Eb, my homie, man. Every time I go to the barbershop, we'll talk to Eb. Stuff. But no. So I got Luda though. I think he got more like bangers and stuff like that. So. No, I had fish earlier. Oh, okay, gotcha. Not. So we'll see. Who would you like to see next on the verses? Banks. idea?
Next. Um,
Do you think 50 will ever do it? I don't think he will.
no, he won't.
I don't think so either.
I don't think he would. Even a Snoop and Jay-Z, I don't think that would even.
First of all,
I don't even
Jay-Z
think
would have like his assistants play the songs. He would never be on there ever in life.
Right,
So that would never happen.
I would probably want to see maybe an Usher and Chris Brown.
Okay. I can see that.
I would see Usher and Chris Brown. And
yeah, Kevin on stage did that, like a fake battle where they played their songs. See who win.
Mm-hmm.
So about
I think that would be a good one. I think that would be a good one. And maybe like a group. Like, I don't know.
It's all done.
Jagged Edge and 112.
A group one whoop. You know what? Wow, that's innovative. Yeah, had a group one yet. That's innovative for you. That would have had a group one yet. A group one would be pretty dope, actually.
I think that would be dope. Like two Atlanta groups, Jagged Edge, 112.
Yeah.
Or like a Diddy and JD.
Diddy and JD would be perfect, actually.
Yeah, like Bad Boy versus So Def.
Yo, Ebony be hating Beyonce so much.
I've noticed.
They have a whole conversation about her dress one day.
Oh, be careful. We got the Beehive. Beehive is definitely in the building. Be careful.
Who was at the barbershop when they were talking about her dress? Was you, Banks? About Beyonce's dress?
Yeah, that was hilarious. that was priceless. That was one of the funniest debates. Like, I don't know the guy's name, but he was so passionate about the Beehive, and like it was like he was trying to convert Eb. Like, listen, you don't realize this is Beyonce, and I was just like, yeah, I guess.
So funny.
Oh my gosh,
I saw one. Did I see something on Swiss and Pharrell? Yeah.
I think you might be onto something, Banks and Mike, because if I'm pop culture and I'm record execs, I'm doing Backstreet Boys and NSYNC.
They ain't doing that shit. They ain't doing no white boy band.
For boy bands? Oh, yeah.
Actually, if that actually happened, they would shut Instagram down.
Exactly.
You know how many fans they have?
Outrageous. They would have 50 million views.
I don't think Swiss and Tim would do that. I think I'm not a hater.
No. I'm saying if they do it on their own, they don't need them.
Oh yeah, I agree. Okay. I see what you're saying. Yes, I agree with that. Yeah. They were so huge at the time. Yeah. You ready?
I'm not a hater. I'm a real. That's exactly what
she.
You know what? To her point, though, it's gotten a little ridiculous. Like, she's a dope artist or whatever, but it's like, the whole idolatry of her has gotten a little bit too much over time of Beyonce. I'm saying, so I kind of agree with her on that. A little bit. It's like I saw after she dropped that the remix with Meg, I actually saw YouTube like debate who's the bigger GOAT, like Michael Jackson or Beyonce. Almost like threw up. What? I said, what? How are they even in the same sentence? Like, Michael Jackson is like Michael Jordan. He's untouchable. Like, it's ridiculous to me. So the fact that that somebody actually thought to say that lets me know Beyonce is put way too high. I don't understand it.
That doesn't even make any sense,
right?
Like, especially if you even want to just talk about like when it comes to money and when it comes to album sales. The amount of albums that Michael Jackson sold on a worldwide basis in comparison to Beyonce is nowhere near. Like, it just doesn't add up.
The girl, it was a girl versus guy, obviously, right? The girl was trying to argue it. She was trying to make points about why Beyonce is the GOAT, like they're getting Michael Jackson. And I could not believe this.
I mean, they're doing, I have to use your expression, Mike, apples and oranges. They're doing two different things.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both professionals, but they do professional is a different thing. Like professional baseball versus professional basketball. They're both professional athletes, but you're doing things differently.
Yeah. So I agree with the idolatry has got a little bit too much, and I kind of miss when she was still like her and Jay when they, I was talking about this the other day when they were still like like being able to be touched, I guess, or do interviews or go see people. Now you never even see them ever. So,
No.
situation. You know what I mean? I don't really, yeah. I think
That's
it
why I
makes
hate when they do interviews on those type of artists because you don't ever get the real from them. It's
no.
all watered down. They have to look at what the questions. It's never like you never get anything from left field. It's all like stuff that's like it's completely aligned to whatever agenda that they want to put out there or that they created. So I don't
Especially
even
now. Maybe
yeah.
like 10 or 15 years ago with Jay, or big, but now it doesn't make
It's horrible. Like when they did Drake and that interview, the barbershop with
oh
LeBron, Drake
yeah
and LeBron's boy. Like
Mav Carter, yeah.
that interview was so scripted, like it was ridiculous. The questions they went off of and like how they carried it, it was just like, what was the point of this? Like you're not even asking real questions.
First of all, like Jazz said, that's a fake barbershop show because barbershop you're allowed to say what you want to, not say I got to ask the question to cater to the artist or the basketball player, whoever, or whatnot. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't even think that's a good show. So.
Yeah, it's like it just doesn't make sense. Like if you're gonna have an interview, like give the people what they want.
Right. Yeah, they would never be on anything, and Drake either. He would never be on nothing either. He already that guy. I think he's scared of the scrutiny though from his interviews. I think he's a little bit different.
Oh yeah, of course. Actually. He doesn't want the backlash. He doesn't want nobody.
He's probably the only person who's never been on the Breakfast Club, like since they started.
Right.
So, which is amazing. But he literally since Charlamagne didn't like him as an artist, like years ago, he never would go on there at all to answer any questions.
Has Beyonce ever been on the Breakfast Club?
No, Jay was in 2013. Not
I remember Jay was, but Beyonce never, right?
Never, ever. So,
I mean, I do feel like it is beneath them personally, and I'm not that big of fans of either of them, but it is beneath them.
But I think that's my issue though, Josh. Like stuff is beneath them at this point. Like I'd rather them be just regular artists. It's cool, but
because to Josh's point, I get that, but then you see them playing on to trends that are beneath them. Like Beyonce, I don't think Beyonce has ever really made a song that she actually wants to make. I feel like she makes songs that fall for whatever trend that is beneath her, and it doesn't align with what she actually wants to do. And I remember she said something like that.
Oh yeah, the only time she was really writing was Destiny's Child.
Even the Savage remix, yo, I think that first of all, I think Jay wrote it. Number one, number two, I feel like she just sent that part to Meg's people to put in the song. But there will never be a Savage remix video. I guarantee you, she won't go do a video with Meg, whatnot, because that's beneath her. But she'll put the remix out. But I guarantee you, there won't be no video.
Wait, isn't Meg from Houston?
Yeah,
she is.
There might be a video.
Nah, Meg's in Houston. Beyonce haven't been in Houston in years.
Hey, there was a time where I said the same thing about Nicki Minaj, but that became a video too, right?
Nah, Nicki ain't Beyonce, bro. I'm telling you. It's not like that. Yeah, Nicki is not Beyonce. That's a whole different level, bro. Meg's, like I said, Meg in Houston right now. Beyonce ain't been in Houston like 20 years. Like it's a difference. So.
It might be for the culture, as they would say.
They got a day out of it too.
You got what?
I think the city of Houston gave them a day or something like that, like a day named after them.
Out of who? After who?
Beyonce and
Meg?
Yeah, they did something for them.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, that's why she probably does it. You been listening to any good music lately, Banks?
Lloyd Banks, he put some freestyles out.
Wasn't he on Buttons podcast recently or something like that?
He was, which was a surprise to hear him actually talk, to actually speak. And apparently, it seems like he's in a better space. He's trying to put music out. He looks like he's going to put out. He's trying to put a. He said he wants to actually do a collaborative effort with a producer because he said he never really had a chance to just work with one producer and put like a body of work out. So that's something he wants to do. And then he said that slowly but surely he's going to start putting a lot more freestyles out and eventually put a tape out and you're going to start seeing more and more of him. But then again, you don't know because, you know, what 50 says, Lloyd Banks is extremely lazy. And the reason why he's not where he should be is just because of his laziness. So you don't know.
I mean, we hopefully he can come out. I mean, he's always been dope, so to me. So,
Right.
You know, hopefully he can come out. How do you like Jordan Lucas, Banks?
I like Joyner. I like his album. He kind of sounds like Eminem to me.
Yeah.
He has that Slim Shady feel.
Yeah.
You know, he like twist words and does a little animated, and like his album, like, oh, you're in a mental hospital. It's like, oh, that Slim Shady thing, like, oh, I'm mad at the world type thing. But I also think I think he's very talented in regards to his wordplay, but I don't know if he'll ever come out of the space he's in now based upon the type of music that he makes. And then with him not being white, I don't think he's ever going to get like the notoriety Eminem got because of how he looks, even though bar for bar and their cadence, it's kind of a little similar, but I don't think he's ever going to become like a big artist like how Eminem was in the past.
You know, it's funny because, you know, after he made that song for Will Smith, which is dope, I watched the when they talk to each other with Jaden, Joyner and Will, and this is regular conversation. He sounds nothing like he does in his raps, Joyner. You know what I mean? It's like he sounds like a total different dude from the suburbs, something like that. Maybe like
like Aubrey and Drake.
Kind of like that. So it threw me off a bit. Yeah. Like how Drake signed his interviews a little bit. Yeah, correct on that situation. So, but anyway, we've been here for a while, you know, almost a few hours and whatnot. So I guess we're pretty much done. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching. Any other thoughts at all, Banks, Josh?
Let's see if we make it to opening day next week. Hopefully we get some news if we're going to actually open or if everything is going to just go downhill.
Yeah, just get ready for the Labor Day cookout. That's when we go open.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's going to be a Zoom cookout. Everyone's going to cook out at the same time via
It
Zoom.
might be a Labor Day closeout because if it gets colder and if this thing, you know, flares up when it gets cold, we might not have any of that. We might have maybe one summer month or part of a summer month, but I feel like once that cold weather comes, it's just going to be bad. We're not going to have any holidays.
Ooh,
imagine a New Year's home, like everybody home.
No, you imagine it. I was already home. You
I mean, yeah, but still, like I'm just talking from a general idea, like the whole United States or the world is at home on New Year's.
I mean, it's about to happen for Memorial Day, maybe July 4th. So it's crazy. So yeah, that would be interesting. But you're right. I don't see a million people being able to get together on New Year's as of right now. But we'll see.
Right, exactly. That would be crazy. Just see the streets of New York clear, the streets of London clear. Like, streets of DC
somebody
clear.
tried to tell y'all how bad this was back in February on Wax, but nobody listened to me at the time. But you know. We can go back and play those tapes.
In the words of the president, Mike, fake news. Fake, that was a nasty statement. That was nasty. Yo, Trump is hilarious. That interview with the girl, what was she Asian?
She was.
Yeah. And like when he said the Chinese virus, and then she got offended, and then she tried to like stick up for herself, and then Trump was just like, okay, now you're just being nasty. And then when the other girl came up to try to ask her colleague, and then he just walks away. So you know what? Thank you. Everybody have a good night.
Yeah, I mean, they're not there to watch her speak, so I understand.
This guy, man, I don't even have no words for him. But yeah,
do you think they set that up?
Huh?
Lastly, like, do you think that they set that up like as a clickbait to an extent? like she purposely asked that question and then have somebody else come and then try to draw attention to see, or try to, you know, get some sort of notoriety for the publication.
Oh, like the shoe chucking incident. That's a fair play.
Right. Because it kind of looked staged to me. And then she just sat there and was like, oh, wait, I have but what if, why are you not answering me? Like, why are you doing this? It's very hurtful, blah, blah, blah. It kind of seemed weird. Maybe not, but it just seemed like it was staged to me.
Yeah, they did get some buzzwords out there, so you might be right there, Banks.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, fellas. Yeah, he could definitely be right. I mean, with Trump, you never know. So.
Yeah, kudos
Anyway.
to him on the walk away.
Well, we'll be on again next week. Appreciate you. All our links will be on the bottom, I'm sure, Josh. And thank you all for watching. Have a good one.
Thank you guys, and stay safe.
Stay safe.